Hey, what's going on, guys? What is cracking? Good to see you again. We obviously missed the Talkback Live last week because I was obviously a little bit out of it and the boys were busy. So good to be back. I don't know if we'll have like a marathon 3.5 hour one this week. It may be a little bit shorter, but thank you to anyone that has joined us again. Now, JG, my usual co-host, he's had a few Easter beers, so he's a little bit worse for wear, but having a good time. So I'll be flying solo at the moment, but we may have a few special guests that join us along the way. But geez, I've already got some comments here, so it's a long one here, starting from John O'Carroll. Hey, buddy. Hey, dear. Hope you're going well, mate. You too, buddy. Very concerned for you last week when I heard the news about yourself. Mum's a nurse that looks after people that have suffered similar things to you. She gave me assurance everything's going to be okay with you. Yeah, thanks very much, buddy. Appreciate it, mate. It was a little bit scary there for a while with the old ticker, but yeah, going a lot better now. Thanks, mate. A lot better now. Thanks. Just got to take it a little bit easier and look after my health a little bit more, mate. But all good at the moment, brother. All right, getting back to the footy. Sorry, I can't see. I need to see the big screen here. All right, getting back to the footy now. How about the two clubs having disgusting games now face off against each other on Saturday? Unfortunately, it won't be able to come down to the game. Yeah, the Lions and the Sainers, no good at all this week, mate. A little bit embarrassing. I'll definitely be going down, so do not miss a game when the Lions are down in Melbourne. So any Lions or Sainers supporters that are going, make sure you come and say good day. But hopefully next time, Jono. But no, appreciate all the love, mate. The boys did not go very well, and not owning Nick Dacos and being a Brisbane Lions supporter on the Thursday night was not a good start to the weekend. I'm guessing not a good end to your Sunday either, brother. Jonas the Goat. Hey, what's going on, man? Rowan Marshmallow nearly as bad as all those rookies spudding it up. Yeah, I tell you what, mate, it's harsh at the moment. It is very, very harsh. The rookies, you got your trainer who we thought was going to be a great cash maker for at least the next couple of weeks. Cleary came in, really disappointing. Gross, the sub, man, that's no good. And then there was even the Lindsays around the 55 mark, which was super disappointing, but very lucky. I ended up having Elijah Hewitt on as well as Sam Powell-Pepper. So the big bald man absolutely came through for me this week, mate. So stoked with his game. Logs, hey, buddy. Hey, dear, getting in early. 2.2 with Baz. Hopefully a nice screen. Yeah, that's a nice score already, mate. Flynn, a must-have next week. Excuse me. We're stalling an upgrade to get him in at flex. Have a good night. I'm asking myself the same thing at the moment, buddy, whether or not Flinny is an absolute must-have or not. But I need to get Scobes to give me the exact break even. I don't know if someone knows it in the comments. He did put it up on Twitter, but I think he may be very close to. With the price that we see him at, with the number one ruck roll, I think if he can go a couple of 90s in a row, then he'll be looking absolutely fantastic. So fingers crossed that if we do bring him in, he can A, stay in the side, and B, deliver us a couple of decent scores. So that's what I'm hoping, mate. Look, watching him play, geez, he played well, didn't he? He was filling those holes and looked really desperate to keep his spot. Williams, I think, played a pretty decent game against a decent ruck in the Rezzies. So I'll tell you what, I can see this man here. I can't actually see him. I don't know if he's there or not, but Damo, are you there, my friend? No, well, not for now. He may come in very soon, and I'll get him back on the stage because he's the WA guru when it comes to Supercoach, Damo. So, yeah, we'll see what he has to say if he comes on about Flinny, but I'm pretty tempted at the moment. I started him, and poor old Supercoach God traded him out just a couple of weeks ago. The GOAT is back. The world is good again. JJ, much love to you, brother. Hope you're enjoying those Easter frothies, mate. I just can't with the heart at the moment. I need to be very disciplined, but have a couple for me, mate. Oh, now here we go. Now we've got a blue bag of legend here and an absolute gentleman and a scholar. Damo from Supercoach Edge. How are things, my friend? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. I can see your beautiful face.
How about now?
Oh, that's much better, mate. I can
Got
hear
me
your
again, the new
beautiful
mic.
voice
The new
to
mic
match
muted
that
me.
face. How are you, mate?
Thank you, DR. I'm as good as can be, mate. But enough about me already. How are you going? I've been through the wars, mate. How are you feeling?
Tracking along very well, thanks, brother. Very well now. Yeah, a little bit scary at
Good
the
to see you,
time,
mate.
but it's basically, mate, what it was, a bit of excess fluid build up around the heart. I think I was getting a little bit too excited on the Friday night because Spillsy had Bicy's his vice captain. He was getting a tattoo of him if he went 130 plus. So I was getting a little bit cheated up, I think, mate. But ended up going into the quacks and spent a couple of days in the hospital. But back at home now, and look, Supercoach hasn't been great for the heart this week, but well on track. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate all the love, mate. But how are you going? The Baggers, couple of wins in a row now. You're back on track.
Yeah, couple of wins. I mean, you can't read too much into it given the opposition, but a win's a win. We'll take it. But I was probably most impressed with obviously against North Melbourne. The way that we played was the best we've played all season for 4 quarters of footy, and I can't believe the second half of the game and the second, there was the third and fourth quarters in terms of the number of goals we kicked and the way that we played was actually better than the first half, which has been the opposite of what we've been like. So yeah, very pleasing to see, and hopefully it just continues. That's the main thing.
Absolutely, mate. As you said, a win's a win. You can only play against whoever the opposition is at the time. So I'm thinking you're on a run now, mate, on a very, very nice run. Oh, geez, I tell you what. Now, talk about some Brisbane Lions royalty right here. Benny from Supercoach Insider, what is going on, my friend?
Boys, how are we? Look, mate, DR, we're missing you. And I saw the link come out and I thought, you know what? I poured myself a little nightcap and I thought I'd come and say hi.
Very nice, mate. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. Now, we're just saying our boys, not a great performance on the weekends, but if you compare it to last season, our premiership season didn't start like a house on fire whatsoever. So, it's never fun losing to Collingwood, is it, mate, out of all the teams you could play? But you're not panicking, Benny? Still going all right, are we, at the moment, mate? Or are you a little bit concerned after Thursday night?
Now, look, 5-1. Can't be upset. I think when we came into our practice matches, we had 17 players in the rehab group. So I was always expecting a bit of a slow burn. The fact that we've banked some wins playing inconsistent football, we were wallpaper, we were kind of covering the cracks for weeks now. So it was always going to happen. It's just, it'd be nice if it wasn't Collingwood. ABC, isn't it? Anyone but Collingwood, like someone else. Just, yeah. So look, it is what it is, but 5-1, you can't be too upset, to be honest.
Exactly right, mate. Now let's quickly get into your Supercoach while you're with us. How are you tracking this week? Are you looking for a bit of a monster, Benny?
Don't have Dacos. Had Merritt captain, which kind of backfired. But the part is I'm doing well considering I had a bad captain. Considering I don't have Dacos, I don't have Hewitt. I'm still on track for a 22.94.
Jeez, that is very healthy, mate. And without all the big guns there, how on earth have you managed this, mate?
Well, look, I've been ranking well. The Sam De Koning, the Frasers, I kind of avoided early on. You're looking at Sam Pepper's come to the fold. I started Reed as well from Fremantle. So that's worked out quite well in my favor. And then I went with the Marich, Humphrey, and I went with Long. So I've just brought in those 200 kind of K guys, just ride the gauntlet, get some points on field, try and make 100K and points in that regard. And it worked out well. I kind of got blessed a little bit because I was holding Humphrey. I didn't have Dacos, and I was choosing him or Merritt, and I was like, okay, but I hated the fact that Dacos played Thursday night, so you don't know what teams are. If Gross wasn't sub, I was going to bring him in and just triple downgrade and then upgrade next week. And then after Dacos went big, I was kind of like, points chasing. I had some cash there, so I went Humphrey up to Merritt and made Merritt captain. And I was going to go Brayshaw, so it cost me 14 points on the captain, but Humphrey obviously sputtered. So I picked up a few points there as well. And then that allowed me, I got rid of Davidson. I went in with Cleary, but that allowed Sam Pepper to come on field. So I've kind of, been blessed there and thereabouts. So,
there's a lot of skill involved there. Now, back to Humphrey, Damon, Fraud, you referred him to, I believe, in your
did.
podcast, mate. You were never a fan, were you, of Humpty?
No, it was one of those things where I was tempted because in his like breakout season, I guess when people jumped on him and he was kind of around about 250, almost 300K. And I was very stubborn and I'm like, I don't want to pay that amount of money to, jump on him. And then, he may make some money. And that season, he actually, to his credit, and the people that jumped on him, he made a fair bit of money. But he then dipped down again. And I was like, I don't know, like he looked good physically, looked like he'd sort of shredded a fair bit of, puppy fat and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know, I just wasn't impressed with what I saw in the preseason and, in terms of the early games. And I don't know, just reading between the lines, it was too much of a gamble. And it was like, it was either Marek or going for Humphrey. And I think in terms of role, I just liked Marek more. And that was kind of the definitive sort of factor between both of those. Whereas Humphrey, I think there's the Suns engine room's kind of a bit more packed in a sense. And I thought there might have been, a world where he kind of gets pushed out at some stage if his form did dip. So bit of a gamble, but just one of the risks that I took and paid off. But there have been many others that haven't.
Oh, it's been a season like that, mate, hasn't it?
Mate, rookies this week, horrible. Rookies this week have been absolutely chaos. Because I even put out a brief tweet like, hey, like, if you have Cleary, Trainer, Reed, I had Will Ashcroft on field this week, which is, I thought I was dropping ranks, right? I was like, man, but because of how bad all the rookies have been, I'm actually doing all right. But some people have got on field Briggs, Moraes, Reed, Humphrey. Like, there's so many people that had. I had Trainer on field for 2 points. So I'm glad that the you don't count the lowest score anymore. But it's been testing. I don't know about you guys. It's testing. You watch some games. Dicuss goes big. I lost sleep Thursday night. We played poorly. I don't have Dicuss, and people go on VC, and I went to bed like, fuck my life. I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't want to watch football all weekend. It's over. Like, it's over.
It gets like that, doesn't it, mate? I was a bit the same, and like, oh, why didn't I go Roberts to Dicuss? And then you see Roberts playing, and like, oh, good hold. So your emotions, you ride the waves, don't you, over the weekend? And yeah, you certainly have your good ones and your bad ones. We've tell you what, boys, we've got a fair few comments here. We've got Bing here saying for the last 2 weeks it needs to play Boyd to help Rowan in the ruck, but it's not happening. So some people will be happy about that, Jono. Others not if you're using him for a loop. But I think probably at the moment we've got enough loops anyway. By geez, can't wait to have Dougal back over Kammer. Kammer keeps getting caught by the opponent and can't defend properly. Well, look, Jono, I can't say a bad word about Kammer because he often tunes in the great man. And yeah, but I feel your pain at the moment. I wonder if Scoops will be coming in. He often drops in and has a bit of a rant and a rave in here. Oh, we've got someone else. Oh, Supercoach God, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
No, hang on, I'm going to change the layout.
Actually,
it's just me. Jeez, there we go.
Can you change the octaves as well, boys? Sorry? I don't know if I can handle that much bass.
Blow the eardrums.
Yeah, I'm going well, boys. God here, speaking from high above.
Yeah, bit of Jonathan Brown, you know what it's like. Yeah. Get up and around him, boys.
He's got a voice like that, hasn't he? That's meant for content. Mate, you brought Nettie Long in. Did you go through with your plans to VC him?
I did. I said if the tweet got 50 likes, which I should have definitely put a higher quota on that because, oh my God, I got like 400 or something. So
you're consistent.
Yeah. It's just, I VC'd him and then I captained Sarong. I need Bailey Smith to get a 96 this week for me to crack 2,000. That's how bad my week's going.
Oh, jeez.
Really bad.
So the 2,300 run with Benny to the 2,000. Look, we all have bad ones, mate. You'll come back. Just like the guys demolished our boys. I'm sure that you've got the skill to come back. We've got J47 here. Hey, Dio, great to see you back. Love your video since getting back in the Supercoach last year. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you, mate. Jonas the Goat, the Pepper Peep Show is the hottest ticket in town. Yes. I'll tell you what, after that 18, I'm an owner. The last couple of weeks it's been brilliant. After that 18 in the best 22, geez, it was tough. It absolutely killed me. But I held faith with the man, and I tell you what, in the last couple of weeks, he is absolutely dominated. And I think a break even in the negative 20s around that realm, I think. So definitely hold for the next couple of weeks. And on field, absolutely brilliant. So, Benny, I know you're an owner. Damon, have you got the great bald man in your side? Or
I did, but I parted ways with a great man after his what did he score, an 80 odd? I think it was in his second game, and then he scored a 48, and I was like, yeah, and I don't know, I was just I needed to punt someone. I can't remember who I traded. Let me just have a quick look because I had to sacrifice someone, and I was like,
Hall? Someone like that around the hallmark.
So it was round 4. So going into round 4, I brought in Bice, Moraes, and Baslenka as well. So I needed to punt a higher priced rookie. So him and Nevitt went out along with Stone, and Bice, Moraes, and Baslenka came in. So it was all right, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, I've lost one of the better cash cows. So longer term, probably not so, but oh well.
Back-to-back tons. So good. And I thank Richmond. I thank Richmond for keeping him in my side. And I thank Hall for sputting round 2 because I was like, you know what? 18, anyone that could drop an 18, they can't be on field. You're out of my side. Played Richmond. I was like, okay, it's not too bad. Hall and some of the other fringe players, Kako didn't do so well in round 2. So I'm like, oh, well, I might as well just hold this guy. Rolls okay, see how he goes. And then all of a sudden, he's 330K with a low break even. He's looking to make probably one of the best rookies, I think, that we've had this season.
Yeah,
back-to-back tons.
Mate.
Go figure.
If you can go, like, just say an 80 plus, and he's playing North this week. So if you can go a decent 80 plus, then I tell you what, it's absolutely 150K. Then you're pushing even your 200s, mate. So Dodger Malacca says here the sub is killing cash gen. Needs to go next year. Well, I think if you ask most people, I don't think I've really spoken to anyone who said, yes, I love the sub rule. I honestly don't. Whether I may not speak to enough people or a diverse range of people. Supercoach God, you a fan of the sub rule?
No, not at all, mate. I think the only time I ever liked the sub rule was when in the 2023 finals series, Jack Ginnivan would always come on as the sub and the crowd would go ballistic. But apart from that, I can't remember a time where I've liked the sub rule at all.
Oh, it's a killer, isn't it? Jeez, I wish I'd get rid of it. Trainer on field this week. Gross in flex during the week. Jules are very, very unfortunate. Like, I did not see the Gross sub. I know there was a bit of news floating around, a few rumors that it may be the case, but I thought surely not after his performance last week. But yeah, I tell you what, mini. It's a bit of a rookie roulette there, isn't it? Does Clay Hall even come back? Does he get another look in? It's pretty tough at the moment. DJ Gardner-Holmes, got to love that. What's it feel like to nail a VC or a C? Just unreal. Haven't nailed a 120 plus since round 1. I got Andy's last week. I got Andy's 150, backed it up with a 120 captain. Boys, best captain score of the year?
Well, I share the pain here. I've had a trifecta. I had this great idea, took it off Whitfield, put it on Cherry 3 weeks ago because I was like, no one will be on him. He'll be fine. And I had a few drinks that night, and then horrible cost me 53 points because Whitfield went big and Cherry did not. And then I went Sarong over Brayshaw last week, so that cost me 50 points. And then I went Merritt this week. Didn't cost me as much. But yeah, don't listen to me. I've lost all mojo. You're still doing well somehow, but I think DeConing is probably the only saving line I've had with a 140 maybe at some point. I don't know. It's horrible out there.
Yeah. Damon, best captaincy score, mate?
This round, courtesy of Wispy Dacos, 172. So I
you jumped on.
On debut. On debut.
You bastard.
Apologies because it's salt in the wound, obviously having played the Pies as well. So it would have lessened the blow, I imagine, for you boys had you
Great caller. He was exceptional. He was exceptional. No one was stopping him. They're like, hey, we'll go team defense. Didn't work out. Let's put Berry on him. Didn't work out. And no matter what, Berry would get sucked in. As soon as he got sucked in towards the contest, Dacos was like, I'm out. And then just that half meter, he just burnt him. And one time he went from the wing, I think he even put an Archie on him as a full, what was he? He was a forward when Dacos went into defense. And Dacos ran like 90, 100 meters sideways and then got the kick and kicked it inside 50 for a goal assist. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Absolute beast mode. Absolute beast mode. You just, hate
It was painful. You were loving
It
it,
makes
weren't
you wonder now, just in terms of just a question for you boys as well, because he obviously broke the tag against James Jordan. And that was part of the reason why I was like, you know what, put the VC on him just in case. And he had a little bit of a favourable history against you boys, against the Lions. But now is there indication that maybe he's turned the corner? Like, is he at that stage where he can break tags just through his work rate and, spread and everything else?
We didn't have a player, as Benny said, that could go with him. Is it Tim? Who can actually go with him? God, what do you reckon, mate? You're the Collingwood man. You take the bias out of it. Is there anyone that can actually run with Nicky Dacos, or do we just give him the Brownlow now, mate?
Maybe
Georgie boy Hewitt.
The only player I could actually think of.
Wow, yeah, Dacos the poor man's Georgie, is he at the moment, really?
Oh, get out of here.
Put the Brownlow with the bag, doesn't he?
You got to win games to get Brownlow votes, mate. Come on.
No. Just ask Juddy and Cripper and Gaza.
No, but if I had to say one, I reckon this might be an outside take, and he's not even a tagger. The one player that could run with Dacos, I reckon, would be Nick Martin.
Oh, Nicky Martin.
Yep.
He doesn't defend ever. He's a seagull himself.
He's got the tank. I mean, one of the only players in the comp that has the tank to run with him. So
I don't think he has the footy smarts to run with him.
Maybe not.
Seagulls know where to go to find the chip. They don't really know where to go to stop people throwing the chip. So,
the seagull analogy. There we go.
Well, I call it the Lockie Hunter syndrome. The ones that just kind of they float around, they just rack up cheap ball. Dale as well tonight. Just if there's junk time ball to be had, Dale just racks up and champion Dale to go. Here you go, have some more Supercoach for nothing. The seagull.
That was a tale of two halves. What was it? 27 points in the first half, and then it was like a 14 possession third quarter, and then the end, I forget what he ended up on. It was 30 plus.
93.
But that was looking dire at halftime. And Sinclair broken Maddie's heart. Now, as a non-owner, this is what we need, a really low score, and this is why it's really dangerous when you're jumping on these 600K plus players. All they need is a bit of a dud score in their system like this, and so he's going to be, fairly cheap. I think his break-even was in the 150 range.
158.
So 158. So what do you score in? It was the 60s.
Not sustainable. Same as Zorko. Not sustainable. Don't bring in 600K guys unless they're Dacos or someone that's consistent.
Yeah, lessons from Luke Ryan last season. I brought him in for 650, 660 or something. And since then, that's another new rule that I'm adding to the list of don't jump on guys that are at an exorbitant price because they're going to have one game like Sinks did and fall down. So,
can we also touch on how unhappy Gorn owners are and were? 29 at halftime, I'm not happy. Has an absolute crazy good second half, gets 117, I'm not happy. I've never seen someone have a 50-point quarter and dominate, and then the owner's still being pissed off that he got robbed. I was like, what the hell? Like, how can you be robbed when he had 29 at half time and he's pretty much gone a 90-point second half, and then they're claiming Max Gorner was robbed? Yeah, they can't please him.
You say just be happy, Gorn owners. Just be happy. You bugger all at half time. Take that 117, whatever it was, and just lay low, says Benny. Got another great man on now. Steve from SDS. How are you, my friend? Now, we're in a big battle in the Content Creators League this week. Now, I was up by 2 points. I check it again. All of a sudden, we're on an absolute draw. And then I realized that I've actually got trainers 2 where you don't. And that's actually going to drop out. And you're actually going to win this battle, mate. So, not too happy with you. You've taken the Pepsi Max King in the draft. You picked up Sardis off me when he got taken out of my side for no reason. So apart from that, I do love you. But how are you, my friend? What is going on?
Yeah, before we talk Supercoach, I'll just ask how you're going, mate. I'm glad to hear that you're all back fully recovering. Hope you and the family are all doing well over this Easter, but it's great to have you back in full health, mate. So
thank you very much, brother.
It's great to be talking to you. And then as well, hope you don't mind me jumping on. 95% of Sunday nights I'm asleep and got to get up at 4 the next morning. So I just thought during this Easter it'd be a good time to jump on, probably because this will be my only appearance for the year on this. So one thing I will tell you, DR, our matchup. So I've also got trainer on field. So we're actually going to draw.
Oh, are we? Not. Oh, well, not nice. It's nice to see you have a win, mate, because I do love you. But it is fitting for two great men to have a draw.
Yeah, of course, mate. Well, you were 2 points ahead, and then I believe Power Pepper got scaled down to make us draw. And I was just thinking, you bastard. But GG, we'll take a draw.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I haven't been traveling too well this season, so I'll absolutely take a draw, my friend. I tell you what. Now, this is a great man of the community here. I don't really like Cheese. Absolute legend. Glad I could catch his streams. I've spent the last hour cleaning up my vomit from looking at my team. I thought you might have been on the Easter beers like JG was today, Cheese. But, mate, I think lots of us can relate this week. Jack's been talking about that. Benny's looking at us plebs from the absolute top, I think, almost hitting the 2,300. But I think some of us others are struggling slightly, mate. Benny, I have enough for Bont. Should we do it? Well, I'll tell you what, I thought that the Bont was just going to be eased in, and I was thinking, in a month or something, we might look at him in a decent price, but I'll tell you what, we could be paying even more for the great man. Boys, is anyone confident enough, if you had the money, just to jump on, or like the lesson we just learnt with Sinclair, is you just too much? Do we simply just have to wait, particularly with the lack of cash gen at the moment? Do we just have to wait for Bont and just pray and hope that he puts in a stinker so he's more affordable? Boys, anyone got strong thoughts on that?
Can I just say JP's in the chat here as well. Former winner JP in the chat saying yes, Bont, do it. So
well,
shout out.
Don't listen to me. I've never come close. JP, the great man. I tell you what, if you take my advice, it's off a former winner.
They do play GWS next week. I think Saints tried to run with Richards, and everyone got a real hard lesson on what happens if you leave Bontempelli free for a half. He did rest forward a lot. They play, I think it's GWS and then Geelong before their bye. The main thing for me, for him and for Butters, because I put them hand in hand because they're both going to the moon, their bye's in 5 weeks. So one poor score, load up, you're going to lose. Any advantage you get now is going to be lost by the first bye. Whereas if you can bring them in, then you just load up for the whole back end of the season. You get the extra round in because they've already had their bye, and you're hoping not to overpay. So you're just hoping for a couple of scores here or there just to kind of bring them back down closer to 600. And then after their bye, just let's go to town.
So after round 12, Butters and Bont. Damon, what do you think, great man? You're just going to wait?
Yeah, I think I'll wait. Like it'd be awfully tempting to spend 100K and a bit to go Sarong to Bont, but I just think it's a waste at this time of year. I'd much prefer to pour that money into getting the rookies off field and just hope that Bont has a bit of an off game. We saw last year, started, what was it, the second or first? Was he the most expensive player in the comp, and he still ended up dropping down to sub 600K. So I think it'll happen at some point. Like we were chatting about earlier, even the best players, even those that are complete seagulls like Luke Ryan, they have off games. So even happens to the Bont as we saw last season. So I think I'll wait and just try and get these other rookies off field because they're looking pretty unstable. And the rookie roulette bit me hard last week as well because I had Connor O'Sullivan and had him on field ahead of Trainer and Reed. So I had the lowest score of those three players. One scored 80 odd, the other one 100, and missed out on both of those scores. So both popular players, and that hurt me in terms of rank. So I need to get these rookies off field because they're looking awfully shaky.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like 80 odd points in rank is huge at the moment. It's absolutely massive. I'll compare myself to a few teams, and it's like, geez, even if you get a decent captaincy, a bit of a pod captain, that could absolutely send you soaring. So,
sure.
Yeah, very, very tempting. There's a question here all from Stuart Fraser. Kennedy of the Dogs may be worth getting in now. Steve-O, Kennedy, is he spike your interest, or do we just have too many other options here? With the Bond back, he's still getting a bit of midfield time. We've got Trelaw to come back, but Kennedy is a bit of a pod option, mate.
I didn't mind him at the start of the season, but it becomes a wee bit harder now with Bont coming back into the side. So not as much clear possession for him. So, I mean, I think if he was a forward last year, we'd all be loving a jump on. But I think there's just so many forward options, like my team personally. The forward line's already complete, so I can't even think about a Matt Kennedy or anything. So, I mean, if you wanted to go pod route, if you're having a bit of a down season, you wanted to bet against maybe like a Horn Francis if you trade it out or a Petrarca, then I don't think Kennedy's the worst, but I would be mildly concerned about Bont coming back in now. And I don't know Trelaw's timeline either. That could affect Kennedy as well down the line. But, yeah, probably the wrong time for me now.
I agree. Any of you boys keen on Kennedy or see a word where you'd remotely look at him?
Nah, I've got Marich at F6, so
That's decent.
yeah,
That's
my
nice.
forward line's pretty much complete anyway. I'm not going to get into Kennedy when I can be getting a Petrarca or a Nick Martin later in the year.
And Warner. He'll
What's
be cheap.
Warner
Warner will be
price,
cheap
mate?
as. So cheap. What did he get? 69 or he was mil for 2? He was close to it.
Is he going to get that low, Benny? Do you think that he's going to force our hand? We almost need to get him in at the price.
Hey, any meal for 2 is consensual. Warner 71, scaled up to 71. What is he? Sick and got subbed out cheap. This one just a poor game, so maybe it's an aftermath of the sickness. But his break even should still be really high, which is great because I can't afford to bring him in this week, which means that I'm probably looking at the week after. Yeah, I think it's if you don't have Dacos, you're kind of forced, and if you Flynn's the other big conundrum, boys. I don't know if you've touched on yet, but that's a lot of quiche. That's a lot of quiche.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Flynn. Hang on very quickly. Causa says, how does Daylander get 93 for 32 touches and 81% efficiency? Oh, look, Causa, I was shagged as well as a Dale owner. It's funny, you compare stat lines some weeks and you just can't get your head around it. Well, I guess what I'm guessing is that the game was
Cheapies.
Yeah, a lot of junk time at the end, particularly as well. That third quarter really came back hard, but I think most of the damage from the Dogs was done by that stage. So that's probably my guess, Causa. Super disappointing though, mate. Super disappointing when you compare it to his dream team. But and another quick one here, Cheesy. Hope you're right, Dio. You're a Denver bloke. Much love to you, mate. Thank you very, very much. Now, let's quickly talk about Flynn. What
Can we not?
is he must?
When did you dump him?
I had him at R2 for 3 weeks until about
R2?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I brought in Gorn, which numbed the pain a bit, but just seeing what Flynn did on Friday night just brings me it just brings tear to the eye, and I'm sure God you've got a similar view.
So the ruckman I brought in for Flynn actually, he had a pretty good game this week. I think it was his lowest score. I think it was the lowest Supercoach score I've ever seen, actually. So, I just don't want to talk about it. I could have held Flynn and got 30 more points in my overall.
Wait, that's very Briggs of you.
Oh, my poor bugger. Oh, hang on now.
Oh,
we've just been
royalty.
We've just been joined here by royalty. So,
I might as well log off. None of our opinions matter now.
let's all log off. Let's all just put ourselves on mute because, ladies
What's
and
this
gentlemen,
Supercoach Tinder?
Supercoach. I'll tell you what. Put the old tie on the door tonight. But we have Supercoach royalty here, ladies and gentlemen. Someone that has climbed the Mount Everest of Supercoach. Former winner JP. How are you, my friend? Good to see you, mate.
I'm going well, thank you. Yourself?
Very good, mate. Got a lot better now. We're
Good to see you back on board.
Thank you very much, mate. We absolutely need to catch up for a few cold ones again very soon, mate. But we're talking about, we were just talking about Paul Supercoach God's pain of owning Kieran Briggs and having him on field, getting him in for Matty Flynn. But what are your thoughts on Flynn, mate? Do you think that he's a must trade in next week? Do we all just have to jump on Flinny with that negative break even?
What are the odds he gets dropped again, though? That's my only concern. You wouldn't want to be taking out a big dog like TDK. You know, I'm not happy to put him in flex or R3 for Arch Reed swap maybe, but yeah, it's risky.
It is. It's a bloody risk, isn't it? You know, after that round one performance of what was it, 87 odd, I personally don't think it was any different. I thought, well, that's okay. You know, surely he's going to be a decent selection, but dropped, just did not come back in. He's come back in for a really decent game, but I think Bailey Williams also played, I've heard, against the third or fourth best ruck in the waffle and had a decent outing. So who really knows? Like, how long do we need to see Flynn in the side for it to be a successful pick? Is it 2 to 3 weeks? And is it 3 weeks? You're saying 2, Benny, and you're happy?
Well, 2 weeks, if he scores decent, it's 100K. Ideally 3 to 4, but if JP, if you know, I know he has Archer Reed, so it's much easier. If you're kind of stuck with Boyd in R3, you are cooked if he's out. So it is very much risk reward. I just think with that big score in his cycle, it's not his first game either. Like Bontempelli's huge game, that'll fall out of his cycle a little bit quicker on that price change. Whereas now that's his second game, it kind of carries over a little bit more. If he scores 100 in his next game, he goes up 60, 70K, I think it is. So it's definitely going to be a possibility, but it's whether you blow up your team to make it happen. If you have the cash, if you don't have day costs, like how are you getting there? Like that's the issue.
Yeah, it's true. Damon, your thoughts? Big Flinny. You're looking to bring him in yourself, mate. We know that you did have him, but you're looking to get him back in. You're looking to reunite with the ex, as they say.
Yeah, I think I've received a bit of a text of are you up? And I am up for Flinny. And I'm going to be in like Flynn times 2. So, yeah, I tried not this again. For those people that played BBL, you understand. Good old showed. But yeah, no, I think with that negative break even, what is it, negative 70 something he's going to have? I think it's going to be hard to pass up just in light of just looking at the rookies on my bench. I've got a few non-existent / dead rookies at the moment. I've still got Sartis, like Hall still there being dropped. I've got Campo there. There's a few guys that are looking quite shaky, and I'd need to kind of just do a sideways trade and bite the bullet and burn a virtual trade there without profiting any money. So I think, initially I was looking at maybe doing Davidson to Flynn, but with Davidson's score tonight, he might continue on his cash generation. So I'll just have to reassess and work out who I trade to Flynn. But I brought in Marek a couple of weeks ago as sort of that more stable on-field scorer and maybe just a little bit of cash generation as well on the side. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we'll work something out, I'm sure. But I'm just a little bit worried as well about Mini McQualter and him just being trigger happy with the dropping of players. Strange. Against Wits. Wits is like one of the better ruckmen in the competition, very restrictive in Supercoach, but in a footy sense, he's one of the better tap ruckmen. So I don't know. I think McQualter's just, strange.
No one's safe. You're a rookie and you have a good round. He's like, fuck you. And then you're Gross and he has a great game. And he's like, you're on the bench. And then you're a ruck and you score an 87. He goes, stuff ya. Everyone's walking on eggshells, mate. Like literally, they don't even want to send him a text message, this guy. I swear to God.
Concerning.
It is, isn't it? Now, Supercoach God, I feel your pain. I know you held on to this man for a very long time. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to get him back, or have you just had enough pain with this guy? You're like, nah, not again. I'm done. I'm finished. You wipe your hands clean of him.
I'm getting back with the X.
Oh, you are.
Back with the X. It's happening. It's happening.
It's not permanent, is it?
We had a little break.
Fleeting.
It clearly was not good for us to have a break, so we've decided that we must get back together and flourish as one.
Can we talk about a new Supercoach strategy next year where you don't even start the expensive rocks, or maybe start one? Because how poor have they been? They're bigger boys. They take a bit longer to get into the season, generally speaking, anyway. The back half of the season, the rocks are generally the high scoring players, points per dollar, points per minute players there. just start with the cheapest guy in R2 and just cop the donuts. If Flynn's out, just cop it until if they keep doing this gather around buys in 2, 3, 4, you could easily wait. Like Max Gorn was already dropped by about 90K by that point. So
Especially with best 18.
yeah, don't start rucks on best 18.
Yeah,
just stuff it.
Yeah.
You can pick them up 90K cheaper and then you're laughing. I don't know.
Some people, remember, were starting with the 3 big boys. So you start with the 2, you just say Sherry Gorn, and then even the TDK type in the flex as well. So I think those teams have probably suffered a little bit. And that's the issue with getting Flynn in your flex. I don't think there's too many teams that are going to be looking to trade out their R1 or R2. I don't think there's any rucks at the moment that we're thinking must trade out. So I think for most, it's at the flex. You're losing flexibility there you're hoping for 3 to 4 weeks at least. That's how long you want him in the side for it to be a successful pick, you'd hope. But yeah, it's a bit of a risk, as JP said. Like, I don't think any of us would be super surprised to see him dropped after a subpar performance next week. And I think he plays Gorn the week after. I think they play the Ds. So that's going to be a bit of a tough matchup. Does he play for 2 weeks, struggle against Gorn, and then Minnie goes, right, BJ, you're back in, son. So yeah, it's a bit of a concern. So I think we'd probably agree not must have, but if he plays for 3, 4 weeks, Benny says even 2 really good weeks, which I agree with, then it may be a bit of a win there. So very, very interesting times. Dale says, Maxi, how's that? Yeah, very, very unfortunate there, mate. Jace, first you're watching the channel, have enjoyed it so much. Love the insights. Wishing you best, brother. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you tuning in, Jace. Mate, didn't know you're a Brisbane fan too. Absolute legend, yeah. So Benny and myself, the 2 Brisbane lads on the stream, mate, enjoyed a lot of success last year. And I'm sure all the other great men on the screen will soon with their sides as well. JP obviously being a Baggers fan along with Damon. So
JP.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Now, Damon said wasn't great opposition, but you can only, defeat who you come up against. So the test will be this week, I think, this upcoming week. I'm really looking forward to watching Carlton play and see how they actually perform and follow that up, actually. CJC, who do I end up trading this week? Probably can't go Roberts or Davidson as planned now. Look, I'd need to see your team, brother. Very, very tough, mate. But look, you've got a few options putting their hand up. Your Hendersons, your Moraes types, maybe. Just very quickly, and Elijah Hewitt. Are we Elijah Hewitt owners? Anyone Elijah Hewitt owners here? We've got all 3 and 3, so we're split down the middle here. This is a gift.
Traded him out.
What a gift. I didn't see this coming. I watched his first half and thought, oh, geez, I think he got caught with the ball a couple of times, a little bit fumbling. I thought, oh, geez, I can't see this early pick potential here. And then you watch his second half and you think, geez, arguably West Coast's best player in that second half. So, yeah, a bit of a lucky hold for me. It was either Hewitt or Nevitt that I had to get rid of. I got rid of Nevitt. So, yeah, pretty lucky there. But hopefully he can continue that and some very nice cash gen at the moment.
2 goals helped too in a close game.
Didn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah, but big kick on him too. I didn't realize he actually had the legs in him to kick it sort of 50-55, which I was a bit surprised with in general. A highly rated player too, so it's not surprising that he's done it. It's just when he did that calf on a Thursday, I'm like, well, there's 2 weeks, so for owners, I guess, it really does start the generation, but I don't know if you dump him, I don't know if you can get him back, because at that price, it's a lot. You just kind of have to sometimes watch your ex be happy.
That's right. That's right. We're all not.
He looked like Campbell Chester when we traded him out too.
Yeah.
Oh,
you wish them the best and you hope that they fail.
But you still troll the social media apps just to see how they're going, aren't you? Just checking the what's happening.
Oh, that's Liam.
Nothing worse.
Don't check their scores.
Stewie, yeah, legend. Great to have you back on. I hope you have a great weekend. You too, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Causa, the ladies' man, Blackledge. Can't wait to get Sinclair cheap in a few weeks. Yeah, look, if all the planets align well, mate, that will be a very nice trade in. And look, if you can get him around the 570K mark even, I think that's an absolute bargain for Sinclair. Keelan, hey, mate, Davidson to track, or should I hold him for a couple more weeks? How much more are we making with Davidson? Look, with track, it's really about the fixture, isn't it? Over the next couple of weeks. Like, what's it been?
Yeah.
A few 90s in a row now.
Yep.
Has he warmed up enough, boys, that we're now confident at the price and saying, look, we're willing to have a crack with this fixture, given his history and I suppose his name and his reputation? Or is it still a matter of, no, we just need to wait to see him just perform and get a 120 plus before we consider? Does anyone have strong thoughts on the big cement bag?
He's got an easy run coming up, doesn't he? So he could
It
strike
is, mate.
now if he wanted to.
Well, so did Humphrey, but fuck. The guy I brought in, the softest run in the land, a forward mid, and what could go wrong?
And so did Neil 5 weeks ago too.
Chocky,
True.
jeez, I tell you what, Chocky. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think we've got a few options, don't we, around that. You've got your track, you'll have Tommy Stewart if people are keen for a defender, even if you're a believer in a Connor Rosie going back as that top 8 potential defender or someone with DPP is maybe even a flex swingman. You could have Rosie as you know, at the end of the season. You've obviously got dicuss if you've missed out on him. So there seems to be a heap of upgrade options, not a heap of downgrade options. Though, now I'm going to ask you two boys as well, JP and Damon in particular. What do we reckon about our young Carlton friend at 99k? Is this a realistic trading option? Matty Carroll, I know that we're not blessed with options. Are we getting desperate in considering him because he's the only, well, when I say the only one, he's one of the more realistic options available? Or do we just wait and say, no, too many dead rookies? Is this going to be another camper? Was, I suppose, what I'm trying to ask you two Carlton lads. Any thoughts?
I like him. I think he looks pretty assured with the ball. You know, he's confident. He can kick well. He's got a good kick to handball ratio. I'm pretty happy to pick him up, I think.
That's music to my ears. Damon, you're going to follow that up? Similar thoughts?
Yep.
Or?
Yeah, I do agree with JP. I was really impressed with him actually in the practice game against St Kilda when I watched him live for the first time, and I was like, "Who's this bloke?" Like, he looks so confident, assured. His kicking's really good. He's like field kicking just generally outside the back line. He kind of drifts up a bit. Really confident, and yeah, I like the look of him. And I think in terms of how he fits into the team structurally, I mean, in defence, we don't really have any other tools that could sort of displace him. He is 190 centimetres, but doesn't really play as a pure sort of lockdown defender. Already got Sauce for that, McGovern, Weeders. So kind of is that, fourth tall defender almost.
Hybrid.
Is it more like, is it Cowan? Is it more his role that he's taking? Because he's 4 to 6 away, is he? Like, what's he? He's a little bit away.
Did a hammy, yep.
Yeah, he's out for a little while. So he's probably the other one, who might displace him. But if he continues his good form, Boyd. He's a little bit shorter. Plays maybe a similar role. I mean, he's not so much lockdown, but he's the only other one I could think of that maybe might come in and take a spot or similar. But I do like him, bottom price especially. Yeah, can't go wrong.
Beautiful. Well,
the other big question as well is the trainer. I mean, with his low score, the 3 rounds before that, I think it was like a 90, 80, 80. So he's above his break even, right? He's made 150K. Do you kind of chop losses now and make the cash if you have a bit deeper in defense maybe? Or are you trying to back him in and you might have to wait 4 or 5 weeks for him to kind of maybe make some more cash? Because if he keeps scoring 80s, he's going to make you more cash. Or do you just go, I have to wait 4 or 5 weeks for that to happen? Best case scenario. And if he drops a 50, you're stuffed. So do you just cut losses with trainer? That's probably one of the big decisions this week, I think, is if you hold him or cut him. And especially when you have such a good rookie at 99K, it's going to be the easiest decision for some people to just go, bang, see you later, I'm banking cash. So
not going to hurt to hold for a week, is it? Break even at 75-ish. Definitely hold.
I think it's very team dependent as well. So if you've got, like, I know, for example, myself, I've got over 300K in the bank this week, and I'm looking at my rookies. Like, I need to trade out someone. I've just got rid of Davidson to get that cash. So I'm looking at, is it a Moraes type? Is it a Henderson, or just keep Henderson for a loop? The next bloke that probably comes to mind is Trainer, just looking at that break even. So I'd be prepared to hold him, and I think when he gets a full game, he can certainly return to how he was scoring. But if I need to trade someone out, particularly if you're looking to boost this week, then I think he's going to be a pretty popular trade out option. Originally, it was Zach Reed in my thoughts. I thought, for that 38, probably got a little bit more cash to make, but I'll need to trade out someone. For me, it's probably going to be a choice out of those two, Reed versus Trainer. 50-50, boys. If you had to keep one, I'm going to start with you, Damon. Go across the screen. If you have to keep one, Reed or Trainer, who are you going to hold on to? If you have to, get rid of one to make your upgrade for this week.
I think Trainer, with Bolter back in the team, I'm a little bit worried. It may be coincidental, but the fact that he was pushed to the sub, I may be a little bit worried that he's affected a little bit there. So probably Trainer off the back of that.
Benny.
Reed's going in a couple of weeks anyway, so I think it's 1-2. I think Trainer probably first. I'd like to hold him, and if he scores well enough this week, I think the damage will be offset, and I think you do have a week to possibly hold him out. So Reed's. It's funny because previously speaking, they used him really well and they actually went back and he was that outlet player. This week he was made redundant, so I don't know if it was matchup dependent, but he was definitely redundant as far as how they used him. So I'm going to say I would rather Reed out of my side, which sucks because he has cash.
It seems to me like Pry was more taking that role and Reed was just one to dominate his brother and just have that matchup on the brother for the week. I hope that was just the case of the week. Now, JP, great man. We know that not necessarily you're saying trade out Trainer this week, but if you had the choice, if you had to trade out either Reed or Trainer, which bloke you're saying goodbye to, brother?
I'd trade out Reed, I think, although lower break even. I think Trainer's got a better game. Hopefully he just rested for the week and moving on to better things. He's a good player. I wanted him at Carlton desperately.
Oh, yeah, would fit in nice at the Blues, wouldn't he, mate? Yeah, that. Steve-O, what are you doing, son?
They pay their defenders heaps. Sorry. 800K for Williams. Yeah, let's just pay defenders. Sorry, guys.
He kicked 4 on the weekend, mate.
As a forward.
I thought you were talking about Hawthorn there with Barras and Battle. They pay their defenders as well.
I served Tom Barras at work the other day, so I was pretty stoked about that. But
oh, look at you just mixing with the A-listers, mate.
Yeah,
are you a lawyer or a...
No, it was lining up for a minute, and I just went, I can't keep him waiting. I got to serve him, so I had to get that done. Look, for me, it'd probably be. It's a tough one because I think Trainer's got the much better fixture over Reed this week, but Reed's got the lower break even. So, look, I'd probably go Trainer, but it's a tough decision. I don't have any bad word to say to anyone if they wanted to hold either one of them. So, but probably Trainer and just play the break even game, but it's a tough call.
Yeah, it is. Supercoach God.
Sorry, boys. Matt Flynn was at the door.
Oh, is that what was the news? Any news from Minnie?
He's coming back. He's coming back for we're getting back together.
Love it, mate. Love it.
Might not be long term, but we're back on.
He's going to be getting it back with a lot of people. I don't know how he's going to handle all that. Gee whiz.
The Supercoach Town bike, as they say, he's a big bike.
He's getting the last ride. That's
he'll take it on his. He'll take it on his back. I hear.
God.
Jack, let's get this back to PG, mate. Who are you trading out? Trainer or Reed if you have to trade one?
I'm going to be trading out Trainer this week, only because I need to get in Dicuss and Matt Flynn. So that's going to be hard as it is. So I've got to, you know what? He'll probably make another 50K. He'll probably get in the 300K mark or whatever. But I don't know. You got to sacrifice stuff sometimes, and you're gonna have to wait another 4 or 5 weeks, as Ben said, to get him to that price. So I don't know. I can't be stuffed waiting that long, to be honest. So I just need Nick Dicuss, the GOAT.
Yeah, not a patient man. You just say, come in now. I need you now, Nicky. Now, Jason asked, can you see Sinclair being a priority to bring in? Absolutely. If his price drops to something reasonable, 100%, mate. I think he'll be a fantastic pick. G-Bags, how are you, legend? Given Roberts' performance today, is there any more? There's probably more from you there, G-Bags, but here it is here. Is it still worth trading him to Wangan Miller or Whitfield/Holmes next week?
No.
Bigger fish
I
to fry.
say no, mate. I say no. I think probably the priority at the moment, this is for me personally, is trying to get those rookies off the field. That's why I held off the Roberts to Dacos move this week. I thought I'll try to just bank some money and then look at whether it's a track, a Stewart, whoever it is, a Dacos next week. I say no. Does anyone here disagree with that? Is anyone trading Roberts to one of these blokes? I'd much rather have Whitfield than Roberts, but surely we hold on to Roberts, don't we, lads?
100%.
Yep.
Upgrade season, not sideways season.
Not after a 120.
Yeah, that too.
Absolutely. Dodger Malacca, who should I trade out first? Clary, Jaden Short, or Xavier Lindsay?
None of them.
Oh, none?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, I traded Short to Dale, and that hasn't really netted me
too.
Many points at all. That was an absolute waste. None. Is anyone keen on trading any of these blokes out, or are you just riding them and trying to get other players off field first?
I just don't think any of them are that urgent. Short isn't making money, but he's not losing money. He's holding up fine 80 scores most weeks. Clary's got West Coast and Richmond over the next 2 weeks. And then Lindsay's injury score drops out after this week. So he should be able to reboot that, even though the role seems a bit worse than what he had before the injury. But so if you had to, I'd say Short. But I don't know. Ideally, there's other guys out there that you could trade in your team. Personally,
yeah, Clary's an interesting one for me. This is just personal. I've put a 115 average for him over the next 2 weeks. That's what he needs to do to stay in my side. If he doesn't do that in the next 2 weeks,
it's gone.
He's gone for me, because if you're not going to perform against, in the next 2 weeks with the schedule and the fixture that he's got, I don't feel that I can keep on holding out hope for him. It's like this is his test for me in the next 2 weeks. A 115 average and he stays. If not, we have to move on, don't we?
I still think he buys a little bit of time though. If he doesn't go really well the next 2 weeks, he's cooked and he's out. But you might be able to limp him to the buys because it's only about 3 weeks after that until the first buy round anyway. So he still has a high ceiling. You might pull out a 120. Best 18, you might limp him through the first one. And then first away, I'm like, bang, Butters, Bontempelli, anyone I can get him to. It's much closer to go from Clary to one of them to finish the season. So when you look at 2 rounds, he should go well enough. But even then, if he doesn't perform after that, I think he's an out anyway.
And the second you bang him out, he's going to burn you.
100%.
The Tim Mitchell effect.
Depends how bad the break even gets too.
Yep.
That's true, mate, isn't it? We certainly don't want to be losing any coin on him anyway. Stuart Mack, I want to feel annoyed by having Darcy go down from him in my side. I haven't even talked about this, but I really don't. Just hope the kid gets through it in good spirits. Seems like a ripping lad. Isn't that just shattering news, boys? Like,
can't do anything about that.
The super coach, but just I've called him a generational type player. I know that Janath calls TDK generational, but this bloke just
is
got it all.
Wow,
is generational.
Yeah, leaves me speechless sometimes. As a doggy supporter, you'd just be loving watching him, but I don't think there'd be a person out there, unless you've got a cold stone heart, that doesn't feel shattered for this bloke, because as we're all fans of AFL football as well as Supercoach, that's it's shattering news. So all the best to the big kid. What's your hair care routine? It's so luscious.
Thank you. Oh,
well, who are you speaking to there, mate?
Yeah,
who are you speaking to? Mine's nothing. Just let it go. I need to keep it while I've got it.
On the trial.
I'll be.
You're doing fine, mate.
Can I just say, apparently Darcy doing his ACL, I think it was nearly 20 years on the day that his father did it.
His dad. Yeah.
The day. Yeah.
Yep.
The day.
Is that actually?
Yeah, apparently that's what's coming out.
That's
Apparently 20 years
eerie.
ago to the day, Luke Darcy did his ACL.
The universe really needs to mix up their script. It's like
Oh,
episodes of Bold and the Beautiful or something.
Yeah,
What are they doing? Reruns.
absolutely, mate.
I-
Should have saw this.
And
on
I hate the
episode of
vision
season
though.
5 years
I don't know
ago.
about you guys. Hate the
Oh, it was
vision.
nasty. Yep.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, when you go
Oh, it's
searching
bad,
because
yeah.
you missed the actual incident and you go back, you hope not to find it, and then once you see it, you're like, "Fuck, why did I see that?" You know,
Like
it's-
that Nathan Brown one years ago.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh.
That and remember Mickey Barlow when he did it and tried to stand up when he broke his
Oh.
leg.
And it just went. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
That was awful.
terrible,
Not good.
wasn't it? It was also
Did
really
you-
bad seeing his family in the rooms. It was his younger brother, or I don't know who it was, but there was a young kid. You could tell he was
Yeah.
really upset. Maybe his sister, another young girl there. You could tell that they were visibly upset. So, it really
They
hits
pan
home.
the
doesn't it?
cameras to the family as well, which I just don't think's on at all.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, mate. It would have been. It's a pretty private moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. I suppose nothing's off limits these days, is it? Rookie coach, hey buddy, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Legend, drop in any time, my man.
Oi, tell your boys to
Janet.
pull through, rookie coach. Sorry.
So he's doing pretty well this year. The old rookie coach. He's don't know how many years I've been playing. He's killing me this year. The great man, the Damo of all Damos. So there we go. Jonas, always a big fan, isn't he, mate, of the Supercoach
Fellow bagger as well.
channel. I love seeing Jonas and Roddy go at it. These two, they get into dark areas when they're having a bit of banter. These two, so I don't know where Roddy is at the moment. But I don't really like cheese. Supercoach has ruined me this week, but seeing these two beautiful people makes everything right in the world again. I'm sure that will be
Ooh.
6 people now, and I'm imagining I'm way behind in the comments here because there was only 2 people when that comment was made. So we're going to get through it. This combo is like Bonds and Butters. So
Ah.
you're obviously not. You must be talking about the two guys
It's
down the bottom
Ross.
there, right? Yeah. On you, Brad. Good to see you, buddy. Damo, great to have you here. What are your thoughts on Carroll? Yeah, so we've hopefully, Stewie, you've been here from the start, mate. So we've covered Carroll. You've got 2 great Carlton men here, and I think it's probably worth it for 99k, mate. D-Mac, Flinny must in. Well, we've got all of our thoughts about that one as well, mate. We tried to cover a few big topics. Well, I've got all the great men here because I knew there'd be a few questions about it. Bagzard Damon.
Is that
Flinny,
you, JP?
here we go.
Masquerading.
well,
and-
That was me talking about his hair care product too.
Nah.
Oh, that's
Oh, Matt Damon.
Mad at himself.
the great man.
Damon.
Flinny with a negative 73 break even. Jeez, it's juicy. It's sickening, isn't it? Poor old Supercoach God there is just inside bleeding that he didn't hold faith. But you couldn't hold faith any longer, mate.
Didn't we answer this question?
Yeah, we did. I think G Bags is on the bags.
Oh,
I think
sorry,
we've
that was the
answered
other part of G-Bag's question. He must have just, I don't know, needed to have a piss or something or do something and finish the other one. Much love, mate.
Can
Jace
we
Wickens.
side note to say that so DR posted in our Supercoach chat, which a lot of us are in, at 11 o'clock at night, and the amount of love that we have for you, so many people have jumped on. I just
You
want to
are-
say, like, yeah, you are the nice guy. You know how, like, if you feel like you're kind of a nice guy and then you're in a group chat with the nice guy, you feel like an asshole. I'm the asshole. Like, you're the nice. Yeah.
You are though, Ben.
Nah, not at all. Now, I'm going to embarrass Benny here.
There's so
I
much
don't want
love
to
there.
embarrass you, mate. But look, there was actually last year when I had sepsis and almost carked it for the first time there. Benny actually sent through a lovely message and a $50 Uber Eats voucher the last time that I was crook. So that just goes to show the great man. He didn't want that public, but I did need to throw that in. The man next to him, Damon, I had a fair few at the last Supercoach major function there, and great man gave me a lift home. Needed to piss on the side of the road a couple of times. He pulled over for me. I'll tell you what, that was a rough night. The 2 great men down the bottom, actually on the most recent Supercoach night, where I wrote myself off yet again, organised Uber for me. So I appreciate that, lads, as well. And
That was a great night.
actually, last time I saw JP, I ran into him at the state. It was like the primary school state finals. JP, it was your daughter, wasn't it, mate? In the high or the long jump?
Yeah. No, it would have been running.
Running,
Yes.
one of those events there. And I had Maxi there doing the high jump at the States as well. So
Yep.
this goes to show you're all great men, and I love you all. But thank you very much for that, Benny. You are too kind, mate. And Benny, going to throw you to this one, mate, because not only are you a Lion man, you're also an owner of Will Ashcroft. Now, it's been a great experience so far this year. I think you'd agree. First couple of rounds are a bit iffy, but before this week, mate, you've been loving life. What are your thoughts, mate? Is this man a hold? And do you, I suppose this will be within your answer, but do you think there's any word where he's a keeper? Or is he a stepping stone? Do we move him on? And when? I know there's a lot I've just asked you there.
No. And they're all things. Are you reading my mind? It's crazy. Here's the issue. So number one, I've already copped his bad score, right? I was hoping he would be out of my cycle in the, how you play best 22. And I was like, that's great. Will Ashcroft won't be in my side this week. And then trainer 2 on field makes him relevant. So it's a difficult conversation. If I can afford Dacos, and I thought I could, right? So I could have gone like Reed out, Marich to Dacos, and I could probably do that. And that was kind of what I was thinking of. But both of those guys performed quite well. And now you have the whole Flynn situation. So now I'm like, well, do I just go Will Ashcroft and get Dacos? Which is definitely possible. The thing that, as far as keeping Will Ashcroft, he does have a high ceiling. This low score, it'll cycle out. I don't think he's going to go much lower. They do play North and another fairly low side in the next few weeks. I can't remember who it is exactly, but there's 2 teams that are definitely coming up in the next couple of weeks. North and Melbourne in the next 4 weeks. So I think he could bounce back. This is a poor game. It was a horrible game. I think he's been ripped on online, and it just wasn't him. So a high ceiling game. The other benefit, last buy. So if I'm looking to move him on, I could probably keep him. He might drop down under 500. A high ceiling game might bring him back closer to 500. Last buy means I might be able to flip him to someone else during that buy period, but I won't be rushed to do it. So it's hard because I feel like Dacos is a must-have, so I might have to do it. But if you have Dacos and you have Will Ashcroft, I'd probably hold.
I don't disagree.
That's the situational. And when it's best 18 in the buy rounds, he can pull out 115s, 140s, and he's a high ceiling player, and they have the last buy. So if you have Dacos already, I would probably hold. I wouldn't be going Ashcroft down to a Flynn, but I also think that Dacos has so much hurt factor and is so heavily owned, you have to get him kind of at no matter what the cost is, which is kind of where I'm sitting right now, and that's the painful part.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Any other Ashcroft owners here, boys, of the Will variety?
And now the top 500.
Well, I'd Kieran Briggs, mate. So he'd still be beating me.
Oh, big kids.
What did he get? 27, was it?
27. In a full game.
Oh, mate, you poor bugger. Well, Brad's up and about with the Tigers win.
Makes Marshall look like
this week, Damo.
You know what he was doing? Bloke wasn't even going to the down the line marking contest. He was standing in the middle of the freaking ground. Like, why? You're not going to give the ball to you there?
Damo, how's the old St Kilda Destination Club? Hoping TDK was watching close tonight. Scoops is adamant. Scoops is adamant that signed, sealed, and delivered at St Kilda. So a great newsbreaker. We'll see if that eventuates. But
just on that, I mean, obviously the money's a big factor, but he probably needs to weigh up if he wants to carve out a career as number 1 ruck at Carlton or share the ruck load with Marshall. I can just see it being a Gawn and Brodie Grundy scenario all over again. Like, I know St Kilda have a whole heap of money to spend, but just does not make sense. I don't know. Strange.
Marshall's
but good luck to TDK, whatever he does.
He's been horrible for 3 weeks. I was really keen. He went poor score, like 120, 130-ish, and then gone like 50 to 60, bang, bang, bang. And I was keen. I was like, yes, this is my flex guy.
Might get bored back.
He keeps being so bad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one I've had on my watch list, but you sort of don't want to go there at the moment, do you, Benny? With current form, I don't think there's any real need to. Matty, what happened to Will Ashcroft? Well, yeah, Benny gave a pretty good summation there, mate. If you can hold, definitely got faith he can bounce back. Just one out of the ordinary, but if he's a ticket to Dacos, then very, very tempting. The great global, sorry, get you back. G'day, lads. How are you, legend? One of the best supporters of all Supercoach channels around here is Global. Luke Pappers, I'm projected 23.70 this week. Lukey boy, is this going to be up there for scoring, or is that about average? Nah,
it's not average.
Nah, well above average, mate.
Yeah. If average is... No, I won't say that. If average is 6, this guy's like 7.5.
Yeah, I thought.
Who knows what average is this week, though? It happened in our chat group. It could be 2,000 to 2,300. Who knows what average is this week? It's going to be such a wide landing spot, I think.
Massive.
We're saying 2,200 is about par-ish.
That's from around, I think. Hopefully, anyway. JP was on. Now you're on, mate. Sorry, this is how late we have the comments here. I better skip through some of these. PW, have a great call. The best yard. Cheers, Wazza. Good on you, Waz. Thanks, mate. Hope you're feeling better, DR. Appreciate you, mate. Geez, you're talking to yourself here.
Oh, my God.
That needs to score
React to it.
for me to go 2,000, he says here.
We're on Perth time, 2 hours behind.
We are at the moment, mate, I'll tell you. Scott Deng, hey, mate. Hey, fellas, huge Fitzroy Brisbane Lions fan. Good on you, mate. Predicting Levi Ashcroft to be a keeper in Supercoach. I haven't considered that, but he's a forward. Look, you've got a little bit more faith than Benny and I think. I can see Benny sort of shaking the head there, Scotty. But if you are correct, my friend, we'll all be pretty happy people here because we all own him at the moment. But either way, geez, he's going to be a great cash cow. And
role player right now. They're throwing him defense, wing, forward, wherever they need to. They're just putting him anywhere, which means that he has no stability as far as his scoring output.
Yeah, he's just that nice little puzzle piece, isn't he, mate? That you can,
he's so good,
you can just trust already, can't you? Yeah, it's freaky.
More than his brother.
Matty traded out SPP this week. Kind of hurts. At least it gave me Dacos. Well, yeah, we're on different sides of the coin here, mate. I don't have Dacos, but I've got Sammy. And yes, look, it's the range of emotions that you feel in Supercoach, isn't it, mate? Supercoach Lock, hey buddy, traded in Merritt instead of Nakos. Ouch. Yeah, look, I think Zarek, look, surely he's got to be a solid selection. It hurts when you miss out in the 170, but hopefully Zachary, mate, will be good for you. Braden, g'day, legends. How are you, mate? Good to see you, bud. Global brought in Dacos, put the VC on him, along with Long and Cleary. So, geez, that was a good combo this week, wasn't it, boys? The two Collingwood boys, if you got Long and Dacos in.
And wow, Cleary off field.
On field as
well. I was so close to doing it, but I would have got rid of Roberts. So I don't know. Bit of a.
Is it? It's still a win, isn't it? Or is it a win? What do we call that? The
everyone got Cleary.
Yeah. Cleary off field's fine. I went Davidson down, Humphrey up to Merritt, which I would have done Dacos, but obviously I didn't know if Gross was out. So
I think the most popular trade this week, I might be wrong, one of them was Roberts to Dacos.
It was.
So I don't know if you did that. You're happy for the Dacos score.
The 30.
I don't know. Can
50,
Roberts
50
turn it
points?
around? And were those just two floor scores? Who knows?
Yeah, it did soften the blow for me this week, Roberts scoring that, because Roberts was my avenue to Dacos. So the way that I've looked at it, it's like, you've sort of lost out 50 points there in a way, depending on how you look at it. And I'm pretty happy to take that, given the fact that Roberts' break-even isn't going to be anything terrible now. I was really worried that he'd potentially pump out a 70, and all of a sudden you're losing cash and he becomes like a must-trade out almost. But I think that most people that held Roberts didn't go Dacos would be happy enough, and those that did Roberts to Dacos would still be happy. JP, you still happy that you went through with the trade, mate? No traders regret from you?
No envy.
No. Awesome, mate. Yeah. All right. Cooper, boys, I'm furious at Humpty. What a trap. Well, if you are
his name?
listening to Supercoach Edge, well, if you're not, make sure you do, because it was Hump fraud right from the start. Damon and Liam had him as. So, yeah, a little bit unlucky there, mate, if you went for the hump. I don't really like Jesus. Satisfaction
Tweet.
I'll be trading out of this tweet Humpty Dumpty is going to be amazing. He's not getting a lot of love, and that is completely understandable as well.
Not the boy from Maui.
Sorry, what was that?
He's from Maui.
From Maui, is that right?
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
good.
So I don't think he's got his full front teeth, but that's all right.
He's got a computer at least.
G'day, lads. Look, the 22-46 projected, but still have Holmes, Bazo, Sullivan, Meek, and Newcomb to play. So a lot could happen. A couple of pods in there, mate. Meeky and Newcomb. Could be some big scores for you. Braden, going to end up trading in Flynn after calling me a trap all preseason. Funny how things change. You can in a week, mate. Like, we're so confident with the trainers and the reads being on field. 1 week happens and we're looking to trade them out, fooling ourselves over to trade them out. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Ellie, thoughts on Trainer and Sartis? I think we've covered Trainer. Sartis is one we haven't covered. Is it just a matter of if he isn't named, if you still got him, you get out of him at the price? Like,
he's been fit for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Setterfield.
Setterfield.
And you got Caldwell to come back in.
And they're winning.
2-3?
Yeah, and they're winning. So I think
Are they?
they're talking about the
I mean, they're
rebuild,
big
but-
West by 15, so
Hey, winning is winning. Ask Melbourne.
Good
Right?
gags.
Winning's winning.
Look, I'm calling him a trade out if you need. If
If he's not named
downgrade.
next week. If he's
Yeah,
not named next week,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, hey guys, would you hold Trainer until his 2 is out of the system
Yeah.
or trade? I know JP, you were pretty keen on holding him, mate. And look, I've heard. Look, and I don't know what's true or not, but I've heard a few people say it was more just a rest this week.
That's what
Other
I heard,
people
yeah.
have said, look, it could be more that Bolter factor. And even if he's not subbed, then Bolter may affect some of his scoring. But look, I don't think he's a must trade out. I'd be happy to hold. Does anyone here think he's a must trade out? Like, you got to trade him this week, or are we all happy to hold if you can and you're in that lucky situation?
Yeah, watch for a week.
Looks like
For sure.
it. All right, mate. So, yeah, happy to hold, mate. But if you need to use someone to get a day cost in or someone, then I think it's fine. Dumpster, Dusty, Humpty is on the never again list.
Oh,
I think for a lot of people, mate. I
a
think
little
lot of-
unfair. A
He was
little
unreal in the
unfair.
2023 season.
The week before, it was on on the ground. It was very windy, and he seemed to be on the opposite side that the ball was kind of running through. And then the Suns had a horrible game against Richmond, and no one scoring well there, and he just didn't look that interested. So I mean, it's poor for 2 weeks. Last week was probably more the environment and the conditions, partially, and then this week was more on the whole team performance and being a forward in that performance. But yeah, he's out. He's losing cash now. The hump.
Yeah. Fell off the wall, didn't he? Had a very big fall, did old Humpty.
The hump's gone the dip, as Edge was saying. He's gone the opposite.
That's right, mate.
It was a
Global-
hump, and now it's
It's cracked, my friend. Rookie roulette's killing global. SPP on the pine, Davidson on ground last week. Pryor on ground, Reed on the pine. This week Pryor on bench and started Reed. It is super tough, isn't it, mate? And that's just part of Supercoach, isn't it? That bloody rookie roulette. I suppose with the
alone.
flex, at least that 2 we don't have to take now and gobble up. At least that can go out. But there's been a few low ones this week. Supercoach God is in the house. Got a few fans here, mate. Jackson, hope you're going well, mate. Thank you, mate. Can't wait to see my Cats tomorrow. 22.54 with, I'm guessing that's Baz to go. That's a pretty decent score, mate. You'll be flying up the ranks there. Big fan of content. If Stewart plays well and he's 460k, is he a must get or a trap? I don't think he's a trap personally. I don't think he's a must get because you've got other options as well. I'd be happy to get him in. He's definitely on my watch list. Is anyone a current owner of Tom Stewart here? No. Is anyone
it's like
I
Dale,
brought him in
50-50.
after round 1 and then trade him out.
Yeah. Oh, geez, mate. You've had great time with your exes, so that's one ex you're not reuniting with.
Burnt bridges.
Hey, if that's what you're doing, I'm an atheist.
Well, Is anyone planning on getting him in? Put it that way. So has anyone currently got him on their trading plans next week? This week? Sorry, coming up?
No.
Nose all round. Interesting.
Not with Sinclair dropping cash.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Zorko
Sinclair,
dropping
Whitfield.
cash.
Whitfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
On my sides.
No.
I think
I
top
didn't think
defenders,
about
top
that.
6 is strong. Yeah.
That's a really good point, JP, because with Sinclair, well, he's definitely going to be available cheaper unless he goes at 200 odd or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, depending on how deep you've gone, if there's only, say, the one
I like to
slot
go
left, yeah. I didn't even have a mind like that.
Is
then
Flynn?
until-
You talking about? Is
Come
Flynn
on,
there
Matty.
with you now?
Yeah.
In like Flynn, there he is.
Was that a
playing
vacuum?
That's the serenade Flinny there.
What's that scary movie?
Vacuums up those points.
Oh, love it. Causa traded the big man. Oh, an 18. Bad luck, mate. 21.40 for Globe with Baz and Meek to come. I think you'll be hopefully above par there for you, buddy. Sanders, where was he earlier on in the season? It's funny, isn't it? The Bond's back and
Looked great.
then he just goes bang, doesn't he? So finally showing his potential there.
I
Trouble is
used
with the
his money to
Sanders.
get Dacos this week, but it's fine. Like
That's okay.
having
Yeah.
Dacos is Dacos. Need the money to come somewhere, but yeah, Sanders has been getting. He looked terrible in the first 2 weeks, and he's really started to pick up each week coming. So it was a sad let go, but had to get wanted to get Dacos in. So, but it's good to see him turn around a bit because I know there were a fair few questions coming out after the first couple of rounds. Is he this type of prospect that we were thinking he would be? But now he's just building each week, and that's what happens when you get a bit more confidence. So good to see that he's doing better.
Beautiful, mate. Now, Elijah Hewitt, worth bringing in at around 190K. Not for me, particularly we've got Carroll. That's all. Yep, everyone's shaking their head. Supercoach, the sub can get bent. Absolutely. Everyone agrees with that one.
Maybe
But then
Chris typed it.
Is this Chris? I thought Benny's just getting involved in the chat here as well. And all
Yeah, no,
round.
as I'm chatting as I'm in the chat at the moment.
See, we've got the great man doubled up here. It's a great night when you got that, isn't it? The old double ender. Who needs points on the field for SPN?
Oh, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
In like Flynn.
Flynn on
You
the
doing
end.
shots there, Benny?
Oh, Benny loves it, mate. Great to have
Say
him on a Sunday. First time on a Sunday. Oh, here we go. We've said no one likes the sub rule. This could be a little bit controversial. I like the sub rule, says big fan of content. He's a fan of content and a fan of the sub rule. Helped the Dogs this week with an early injury. Serves its purpose well. Supercoach and AFL fantasy isn't everything. So a very fair
Play
point
5
there.
on the bench.
That's
Play
yeah, just
5.
play 5
5 on the bench.
Play
Five on the
5.
Five on the
Easy.
bench.
Yep.
All right. But a big old fan, he's not afraid to rebut there. So going away from the crowd with a lone wolf, I respect it, mate. The ladies' man, Gross, a shoulder injury, they said before the week, I heard. Why are they playing him then, even as a sub? If he's got a shoulder injury, just rest a great man. Save us from him. But unfortunate there. Global
Did we
needs
all
to-
still keep Gross?
I didn't get
Gross.
him in.
Gross has
I
turned
reversed.
gross.
Oh, you didn't?
I reversed my
No.
trade and only did 2 trades.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I went for Sard, Alahuli.
I had to get Davidson out to do it, but I did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think 50-something% of the top 5% traded him in. I think it was 52-odd%. So I think it was a pretty popular trading. And is it the fact that, people that went day cost, you had to go one of those downgrades? Maybe you were forced into having to go through with it, maybe, because you've already upgraded early on that Thursday night. That may have been a thing. I'm not too sure. Global Flynn trading, talked about that and covered that pretty well for you, I think, mate. Primordial Quasar. Bailey was all right on him for his pace, but isn't as good in the contest.
Zach Bailey.
Bailey, so I think that's Dale, is it?
Oh, Bailey Dale. Sorry. Yeah.
I was-
Bailey
Oh, Zach
Dale?
Bailey. Brisbane chat.
The Rat, he's been all right hitting the scoreboard this year. The Rat, isn't he?
Just not
Butters
this,
has played
not this
3
week.
less games. Butters played 3 less games than Neil. Was only on 160 points off him. Jeepers, mate. Yeah, that's
brutal.
not a
He's
great stat.
160k more.
Yeah, ouch. A few primos will be cheap in a few weeks. Absolutely global. And this one thing I do, I use, there's like on the, where the fixture is on your Supercoach panel, there's a watch list thing. I just put a few notes in the notepad and put some players on the watch list there. Just easy to track rather than having to search through the search all the time. Sinclair would be decent matchup to keep up with Whisper. Sinclair would be a decent matchup to keep up with Whisper. Oh, Whisper, is that now? Who's Whisper? Is this Dacos? Is it?
This is in regards to the tagging thing.
Oh, yes, yeah. What's Whisper? I thought of Timmy Watson, like straight away there.
I think it's
Nick
his
Dacos or
Instagram
something.
account is called Whisper Nick Dacos. I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Gotcha. Okay. Supercoach, Finn McGuinness. Is this in relation to tagging something maybe? Not too
True. Yeah, he always locks down Dacos.
Yeah. He got with Dacos.
He
Yeah,
does.
he got dropped this week, Finn.
Do we need to snap trade Will Ashcroft? Don't think so, mate. We discussed that. Benny gave some really good thoughts about that before. But if he's an avenue to, one of the premiums, such as Dacos, I keep on saying Dacos, but he's a big one this week. I think if you don't have him, think it's fine, mate. Legend Neil Bullen can tag and stay with Dacos. Neil Bullen, maybe, bit of Neil Bullen, but he's at the Crows, obviously. Not at the D's. On the Dacos tag combo, Finn McGuinness locks him up all day. So a little bit worried about potentially some Finn here.
No, he's gone beast mode.
Go on beast mode. Jeez,
Yeah.
I can't. It's
No.
hard to see him slowing down.
Even
Butters
GWS
import.
didn't really tag Rosie and Butters. Rosie even in general still
They
scored
dropped it
quite
pretty
well.
quick.
Yeah. And tags are great, except Sydney now. Jordan's failed a couple of weeks in a row with that. GWS as well, trying to sort of limit against the Neils and the contested only types. Yes, whereas your Rosies, your Dacos, the guys that can just run your Brayshaws, it's just impossible, and they'll just hurt you. So, yeah, I think they're kind of in the clear. I think at this point.
Yep. Butters in, boys. Too expensive, or
No.
we're going
He
to
is.
start him? It's funny, isn't it? Lots of us are starting him, but is
Yeah,
anyone
but-
willing to pay up now?
We're in
No.
season.
Yeah.
Prices drop, things change.
The other thing is that
We
I think
can't
you-
now look at the cash gen at the minute. It's just don't think we can spend that much. I think
Yeah.
580, 590 is really probably top of the top currently what we can spend.
Benny touched on it before, those buys as well. I think a lot of us may be not completely stacked, but looking fairly loaded up in that round 12 buy. So potentially after that, that's when you could look to jump on, as well as your Bont as well, and just hope that they're at a cheaper price. Dodger Malacca, Nick Martin played 100% of game time. 100% Tog. That
Good
is
tank.
nuts. That's crazy. Not a bad shout by the God in regards to the tank, but don't think I've ever seen him defend before. Yeah, that's 100% game time, though, is crazy if you're not a key position player. That's unreal.
Sat on the
Forza.
wing with Briggs.
I think Ed Langdon did that a couple. I think Ed Langdon a couple years ago was never went on the bench at all during games. So
Yeah, he's got a great tank, doesn't he? I've just noticed your background there as well, mate. See you later, Nick, and in comes the X shirt off as well. Love it, mate. Causes on Dale again. 24 kicks, 11 score involvements, 81% disposal efficiency for only 93 is strange, but I'll take it. It was a bloody strange game, mate. And that was it. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I agree with JP. So when the game was over is when he really got involved. So yeah, really need to see that earlier on, I think, when it was more on the line. Costa, great to have you back. I appreciate you, brother. And crew, definitely dropping rank from top 1% because Willie Ashcroft decided to chase fairies all game. Missed out on Dakes. Yeah, it's a tough round.
Can I just touch in? It was more the fact that Collingwood squeezed us. We played too slow, so we kicked down the line. Will Ashcroft's more of he got the 1-2. So he got the handball and gave it real quick to someone in a better space. But usually he's a better link up, running type, in a wave type kind of player. Whereas if we get forced into a slow down the line, he's not good. He then runs to the next contest, the ball drops, and then it's not there. So if he's not winning in the contest in his rotation, he's really a dominant, wave burst kind of hand receive, link up, score assist player. Whereas if we play slow down the line, he had a poor game, but that didn't also help him. So I think it was kind of a double kill as far as the game that Collingwood brought and forced didn't suit his style. Plus he played poorly.
That's very true. And there are a few times I noticed as well, Benny, like those real quick hands, like you had to get off really quick. I think that also hurt Zorko as well. He loves those little darts inside the middle. It's often risky kicks, but I think particularly in the first, 3-4 games, they were actually working for him. They're actually paying off, but they were just closing up that middle, and we just couldn't get past him. So I think it was a really good team defense.
It was great.
By Collingwood. I really rated their defense as a unit, to be honest.
5 seconds, they closed every gap. It was crazy.
Yeah. Jace, hey, mate, with Butters and Bont not missing a beat coming up with injury, what price would be a must to pick them up? Look, a must, like it's a big word, a must, but look, surely anything under 600K, boys, we're licking our lips with both of these Ubers, aren't we? At under 600K?
Yep.
You're asking a fair bit for, I think, even your 560 types. It's like, particularly someone like Bont, like historically, like he hardly ever gets near the 600K mark. If he does, it's only for a little bit and then bang, he goes back up. So, yeah, under 600K, mate, it's going to be very hard to pass them up. What do you reckon,
I was just saying, even 610, 620 for a couple, you could. Yeah, McRae, Bailey, Dale, we've been blessed with quite a few cheap Robins, Dale, Bailey Smith,
Daniel,
McRae. Yeah, Daniel. So then we've already saved some trades and some cash in our forward line. So realistically, you could pay up for a couple of people, but it would be just for those types, and that's it.
That's true, mate. That's true. All right, Dale's always a love's child. Campbell, Hotham, what's everyone's projected? Geez, I don't even know if I've got mine. Yeah, mate. So my team,
I can tell you,
projected 22-35 for myself. Boys, anyone else got their projections? Jack, I can see
exact
just
same as ours.
Oh, that's right, Steve. We're on the draw mark there, aren't we? Benny,
22.95.
22.95, the 2300 mark almost. Yeah, love that.
Mine's 2007. So
2007. That's
good year that year.
That's all right, mate.
Yep.
That's all right.
No, it's above 2000. They need Bailey Smith to get like a 96 or something. But yeah. Anyway, boys, I got to go. I got work at 6:30, so I should probably head. But
much love, mate. Much love.
Good luck tomorrow, boys.
Catch you, man.
Get Matty Flynn in. Get Matty Flynn in.
JP's frozen, but
JP's probably got a chance.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen, but he's 21.61. So I can tell you that much.
21.61. Well, Damon?
I am 2,309, provided Holmesy can score 114.
You were keeping that one quiet. I must have completely forgot to ask you. And the modest man sitting on this 2,300 plus projections, just let it go through the keeper. I'll just sit back on me 2,300 plus here and let you boys discuss it.
Don't want to gloat or
nice
anything.
Mate.
Things can change. It's only one more game to come, but as we know, it's going to be usually it's Sunday bloody Sunday. Could be Monday bloody Monday. So
Global Jake Bowie. Yeah, look, he's has gone through the keeper, hasn't he? The old Jake Bowie. I remember it was him in Salem at one stage I had in the stocky, and he's really come through with the goods.
He's only gone up 91K before this week with a break even to 90. He scored very well, but he did start it in the 300s. Yeah, but he started in the 300s. So, I mean, he has scored extremely well, pretty much getting 85, 81, 90, 90, 115. So it's quite decent, not including this week where he absolutely, he scored again another 116. So he has done very well, but at a 300K player, it's a little bit different. Yeah, he's probably looking at making 100K so far. So it is a sneaky one. And he has done very well. Great for draft leagues. But, I think at the moment, I can't see anyone. Sample Pepper, I think, has probably exceeded every single price dimension based on a 180K player. at this
Oh,
point.
absolutely. I've loved him, mate, last couple of weeks. Corzo, could have gone 130 if he kicked one of the 2 goals and he kept getting 0 points for 6 hit-outs in a row. Only had 4 to advantage. Yeah, what a comeback. If you kick those goals, he's going to the moon. Yeah, absolutely. As a non-owner, I was pretty happy. One of my draft leagues, Corzo, I'm with SDS. Beat a guy by 580 points. Scored at 116 with 19 players on field.
Yeah, he's on fire in I've checked that draft league. He's doing really well in that.
The ladies
Side note, draft league, we have flex. So 22, I think it is, and flex. I'm on track for 2150, which is unheard of. Like I've never like if you get 2000 in a draft league, it's like that's a pretty good week. And we added in flex. No, captain wasn't even great. I had what's it, Noah Answorth? No, Noah from
I was going to say that's a pod, mate. The old nozzle.
No. Like Noah from
Anderson.
Gold Coast.
Noah Anderson.
Noah Anderson. That's
the
my
Noah
captain.
Coaster.
Yeah.
Well, now this from the great man that's left us, former JP. People are going to blow up their teams getting Bonton Butters, meaning Moraes and co stay on for a prolonged period. So JP, the great man, is against getting these men in at the current price. Here we go. G'day, Logan. Damo, how's the old St Kilda destination club? Hoping TDK was watching close night. Ha ha.
I was just replying to him. I was just replying to him. There's a couple there. Just quickly as well. JP in the chat has just said, "Sorry, boys. Matt Flynn grabbed me from behind and I couldn't resist. My phone died." Sure thing, your phone died. The first part of that is the truth.
I've got. All right, I'm just going to skip through some of these. The goats in the room. He says, "Hey, legend. Hey, Scorched. How are you, mate?" Damon replying to Stuart Max. So that would have been there. Scorched Earth. It is 1:20 a.m. here in New Zealand, mate. That is commitment or insomnia, as Benny just said.
That was a while ago. It's probably like 2 a.m. now.
Jeez. Oh, it is as well. The great man still watching here. What to do with Cripper? This is an interesting one. I don't really know anyone that's got Cripper. We'll go to you, Damon, for this one, mate. Are you holding faith? Are you getting rid of him? I don't reckon you would have thought about him too much from a super coach sense, mate, when we've got Georgie Boy and our man Adam Shearer, who is just absolutely doing the job at the moment. I'm a really happy Shearer owner. But what to do with Cripper, Damon, if you were a current owner?
I just had to quickly look up what he was scoring because I had no idea how he's performing for the year.
I didn't think he would, mate. He's a Carlton man.
Yeah.
No good. Scorched Earth is still watching, by the way. So what is it? What time is it there, Scorch, mate? Hit us up.
Oh, you're a good man, mate. Loyal listener. Sorry, I'm way behind with the comments here.
But yeah, just with Cripper, if you've got him, I don't think he's the same. I don't think he's going to win a Brownlow this year. I think it's going to be Wispy Dacos. But I mean, maybe Hewitt's leeching some of his score. Who knows? I mean, Hewitt's in the best form of his career. It's incredible. And I thought it actually might have complimented him because Cripper's kind of been that man to just put the entire team on his back and be like the main reason why the side's winning most weeks. So I don't know, it's a bit of a strange one, but he's moving forward, I think, a bit more as well, kicking goals. So maybe that extra time spent forward maybe means that less time in the middle, less points. I don't know, just a guess.
No, mate, hard to disagree with that, I think. And yeah, it's been a disappointing Supercoach season from him, but hopefully as Carlton get a bit of a run, 2 wins, the great man can start to get some big scores back. All aboard the Flynn train is Binga. Shuey, if Flynn does 75 points against the Hawks, he makes 61K. He makes 40K against Melbourne the week after if he does 72. So a 75 and a 72, 40. So it's 100K, basically. So, look.
And then he's got Nankervis the week after who leaks a lot, Flynn.
Oh, okay.
So just even 3 weeks. And then I believe it's Marshall the week after as well.
75 and 72, that's pretty modest. We've already seen an 87, and I'm not saying he's going to do anything like he does, what he did this week. But in the 70s, it's pretty modest for 100K. That's if he plays, surely like 72 is his floor, you'd think, wouldn't it? Like, I'd be super surprised in that number 1 role if he went under a 72. It'd have to be an absolute dog of a game. Oh, I tell you,
Well-
it's
Well,
tempting.
Witts is the most restrictive ruck in the game, I believe, still this year. So if he's
That's where he
scoring
got his 87, isn't it, Steve?
yeah, if
The
he's scoring an
roof game,
87
wasn't it,
against
mate?
the most restrictive ruck, I mean, I do expect that type of role to be an 85 minimum, really.
The most awkward thing would be, right, we jump on, he plays, obviously gets named this week, gets dropped the week after, and then we've got him in our flex. We've got him still with this really low break even, regardless of probably what he scores this week anyway. It's an awkward one, isn't it? Very awkward one. Mick didn't take God's advice on Ned Long. Jeez, he was a great trading. They'll probably drop Hewitt considering this week's luck, says Jonathan. Who knows, mate? Pro has Hewitt at F6. This is the Elijah version.
Nice.
Thoughts on Tunstall, says Michael, in a
Yes.
couple of weeks. What's his job security and scoring like? I'm shaking my head as Benny is, mate. Yeah, look, I just don't think you can go Jimmy Tunstall. Look, he's a decent
Yeah,
type player. Oh,
Starts
Steve,
to
are you
bitch
on
in
the...
Coleman. The first one back, he's out. Like, no offense, he had a great game, scored well. Starcevich or Coleman, if they come back in, he's straight out. We were worried about Levi Ashcroft being best 22. They'll put Levi wherever they have to. They'll put him defense, midfield, forward line, wing. Whereas, Tunstall, it's, gone. And I know JP's put a few comments in there calling him Jason.
Hey, says a new nickname.
He
for
said
him.
it a few times. I have to give him a shout out.
What rookies to get in this week? We've talked about Carroll.
Is it
All
just
right,
Carroll?
I'll bring one up. Sardal Hooley. So if he's named in the 22, not a sub, is he someone that we have a crack at? Or is the sub risk just too real with him? You know, he's not going to go much. I think he had a break even of like negative 11 or something, didn't he? Came on, scored a 3, I think.
4.
So you're getting him at a 4. So you're getting him at around what a Caden Cleary price, probably what you paid this week, or a little bit under. Anyone got thoughts on Al Hooley? If you're not keen on a Carroll, or even if you went early on a Carroll, it's a tough one for me.
They're
Yeah,
very
well,
sub.
It's kind of sharp effect, isn't it? He's so dynamic and fast that he could excel with a full game. I don't know if his decision making is great outside of going really long down the line. So, but as a sub though, the flair he brings, he's a typical sub candidate for a young person coming in that brings them something that they don't have. He's a perennial sub risk, I think.
He isn't like how much of a detriment to him is it for him to continue to be the sub week upon week? Like we've seen it for a third week now. Surely, like he needs some game time, doesn't he? Like you can do as much running as you want off the field and all the rest, but he's not playing resis. Surely he gets a full game next week, whether or not that's in the 1s or the 2s. Like 4 sub games in a row. Surely it can't be good for his continuity as a footballer. Steve, any thoughts there on Sard? You're having a laugh. You're looking up something dodgy.
No. No.
Flynn highlights.
My mate just sent in a funny video, so I just need to have a look. So, what was it? It was Sardell Hooley, was it?
just admit it, mate. SDS, you're watching some Flynn porn. Just a bit of a sneaky.
He sent me something in real good, and I couldn't refuse.
Oh.
I love it, mate.
Was it actually Sardell Hooley?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Sard, mate?
Well, the cash gen would be very slow, wouldn't it? Like it'll take a few weeks to get him running, I would have thought. So the DPP comes in handy. When he can get a full game, like we've seen the VFL scoring, it's really strong. So if Essendon can give him a good run at things, then he could eventually pay off as a cash generator. It just short term would be very small. But he looks the player. So you just got to hope that he can stop that you can just avoid the sub vest, but he's struggling to at the minute. But I mean, if we're not feeling Matt Carroll, then I think El Hawley's probably the next option. I'm trying to think of, I don't know if Sandy Brock comes back in. Doubt that happens.
Bustlinger time, boys. Bustlinger.
Bustlinger.
I think it's time. He's been chipping away in the seconds. You got Darcy down with a possible ACL lob push forward in the second part of that game. The next one in for me in that defensive line that replaces Lob is Bustlinger. And I think there is some hope on the horizon. I'm an optimist.
Ooh,
Forgive me.
That'd be nice.
It would be.
That'd be nice. A bit of Bustlinger action. Damon, Sard, before we move on next week.
Yeah. If I didn't have him, I panic brought him in off the back of Gross being the sub. And main reason for that was it allowed me a link with Holmesy, who's in my defense. So I think that's where he's worthwhile. But if you don't have him, yeah, I wouldn't be having him on my, top tier priority list. Until he gets a full run at it. It's just otherwise it's a bit of a worry, a bit of a risk.
Love it, mate. Benny's answered that one there. We held Lindsay for this run, so I'm a definite hold on Lindsay. Binga, how are you, mate? Good of you to join us. Sorry, I just saw your thing there in the lobby, lads.
That's right. It's all good. How are we all?
Better than you as a St Kilda supporter, mate. I don't want to rub it in. We both lost this week,
but the main shining light from me from
Binga.
that game is seeing Jolly Boy kick 2 clutch goals.
Oh, there we go. He loves his Horsham boys, says Jono. That's why he's a big fan of the Berries and Jolly Fraser there. So big ups to the Horsham boys, Jono.
Snake wrangler.
Hey, Binger, if your name Binger ever falls through, we got a new nickname for you. It's called Reverb.
You have to enlighten me.
You got the hiss happening, mate. A bit of bit of feedback on the mic.
Will White. Who's Will White? Sounds like
Carlton.
a breaking
He's
bad dude.
Carlton.
Yeah, he's Walter White. Yeah, he's Carlton. He's one of the many small forwards I've got at Carlton.
Oh,
SSP
very nice.
signing.
And Durden. How about Durden? What do you reckon about Durden? Is he worth the risk, like just for that quick sugar hit, or is it a humph trap? What do you reckon, Damon?
I'm a massive fan of Dirts. He cops a lot of shit from Carlton fans, unwarranted, I think. Only thing that I'm worried about is he's got really bad durability. This is probably the first time that he's strung together like consecutive games where he actually looks elite. I remember in his draft year, he was one of the highly rated small forwards. So he's got the talent, the ability, but yeah, I'm just worried about that breakdown in his body. But otherwise, I mean, his break even should be really low. I mean, he was -5 heading into this round, got another 90-odd score. I mean, if you want, he's probably not going to be a highly owned option.
Something a little bit different for the Lone Wolves, I suppose. Carroll rated highly, says Maddie. And we've got Binga here looking at trainer to my cousin, Maddie Carroll. You've got a few cousins. Jack Carroll.
Yeah, Jack.
I've got Jack as well. You got to remember that one.
Your actual,
right,
your
mate.
actual cousin?
Famous.
Yeah, the actual cuz. Jack and Maddie. Get around them both.
Well, find out some actual info. Hit us up in the chat. Is he keeping his role? This is your time, Binga. Your time.
Mate.
Could have had extra lunch today, surely.
Yeah, well, I talked to both of them today and they're all good. So they're
all
prospects.
All right. Oh, the Greek Raven needs to piss one off. Oh, he's not happy with Zorko, Dale, or Dunkley. Why do you need to?
Wait, is this
really
the Greek Raven, or is this the sort of pseudonym for Abs Magic? Because that's the sort of trade that he's been making, I think.
He's given up this week, boys. I don't know if you've seen. He's like, I'm going for leagues. He's done. I don't even know what he's rated, but the Greek Raven is prone to losing cash. I feel. Keep them, bro. Keep them.
Yeah, you hold them all, mate. And Jono's given some insight, some info here as well, and some advice. Hold them all. I think we'd all agree in that, mate. All right, I'm gonna skip through Dodgy Maluckas, Flinner 3 for Boyd. He's My brother here. Great to have you back, legend. What an
Janath.
all-star crew this is. Absolutely missing you, mate. And I don't know if you got my messages, brother. I've texted you a couple of times. And for anyone that doesn't know, this great man's birthday was either yesterday or the day before as well. So happy birthday to you, mate. He's
birthday,
engaged at the moment. He's finished his degree, working very, very hard, got a few exams, but life is very busy for Janath, but going very well. So much love to you, brother.
Icon.
Absolute great man. One of the nicest men ever meet. All right. I've skipped a few here. Go on a dodgy one again. Matty Light on the Sunday Footy Show talking about Vlosten. He's as good as Tom Stewart. He's one of the smartest defenders the game has seen in the last 10 years. Thoughts?
Not the
no,
worst call.
Big
Uh,
call.
Same
oh.
mistakes.
I'll just say he's a elite Supercoach draft option this week. Oh, wait, he's playing DR, aka myself. First in DR.
Oh.
With Vlosten on.
Mate, I've got
Always gets
Vlosten playing
you.
Chris this week. Great option. But
Oh,
it's,
very
it's,
nice.
but it's going. The points are going to him or Short, and it used to be Rioli as well. So they used to kind of share it, and it used to remind me of Fremantle sometimes, where someone's getting off the hook and they match up, and it doesn't matter who's going off the hook. They would just set it up, and someone would get free. And each week, depending on where the opposition would kick it, someone would just tail up. And Vlosten, this one, I think, was helped by intercepts. Gold Coast just kept bombing it long with inside 50 on inside 50 on inside 50, and Vlosten just towed up. Absolutely.
The intercepts were just crazy with
Oh,
them.
mate. But he's also gone 58-60 as well in the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, I mean,
That's true, isn't it?
yeah,
That's
like
true.
take the good week in a draft league, but don't be going anywhere near standard.
Humpty the Spud says Nightfall is a must trade out. I'd definitely get rid of Humpty. Murphy Reed. The break even must be getting higher, is it, for Murphy Reed? I'm not known. He's
No,
geez, he's
40
been a huge miss.
Was 45, scored an 82. So that'll probably buy him a bit
That's-
more time. So, I mean, it wasn't dire.
yeah.
He's made some more cash. I think that break even will probably hover around the 40s, maybe. I don't know how it works. Oh,
Benny getting some lovely
thanks,
feedback
Global.
from Global.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Reckons the God needs some medicine there.
Some Flynn medicine.
Jono says, don't check the Supercoach Edge Keeper League
Yeah,
draft.
there you are.
Thanks, Binga. What do you got here, Binga? Love your content, yeah. Your inspiration to all of us in Supercoach community. Keep the awesome work coming. Member for 36 months. You're a legend, Jono. It was you, Causer, and H. You were the first 3 members of the channel, mate. We've grown to a pretty large membership now, but thank you very much, legend. I very lucky to have you on here. You need
Binga's
to
a Supercoach whore.
Bing
Binga's a
loves it.
Supercoach whore. Come on, Binga. I see you everywhere, Binga, and that's why I have so much respect for you.
He's
No.
a great.
I'll get around all the lads. Get around all you.
Gets around.
Yeah,
get around us.
You're a
I
good
can't
man.
get around my own content because I'm not producing anything at the moment due to my work.
No,
arrangements.
you're right.
The
Very busy
content I
man.
produce is blanks at the moment, so I can't get around it.
You're an absolute legend, mate. Absolute legend. All right, there's a heap of Ned Long seasons here.
Edge gets it.
Here's little drive-by for Swizzy, I think, here. Swizz had SPP on the point and Cleary on field. So, Swizzy, bad luck, mate. He's another great man. I absolutely love Swizz. Global says trainer was managed. Uze mentioned it in the after-match presser. So that's good for those people that are looking to hold there. Brad, Dimmer's toys stopped working. Still hates Marvel. I tell you what. One thing I did like was that little drive-by to Jacinta Allen there. Just worry about you cleaning up your own backyard, he says. So I didn't mind that from Dimmer. Hexorism. So glad I can switch Whitfield from flex to defense. Won't worry about having any rookie issues. Short and bias will be at D5, D6. Yeah, very nice. And welcome Dacos in and Flynn. Pretty nice combo. Oh, now, I need to give this guy a big shout out. Yaron Gartner. Now, talk about Binga getting around everyone. This man is very much the same and has already done. I don't know how many times he's donated on this channel alone. So, Yaron, you are an absolute champion, mate. More than happy to do anything for you for the stocky as well, mate. But thank you very much, brother. You are an absolute legend of the community, mate.
Yaron, it's SC inside of 100. Love donations.
Aaron, make sure that you do check out Benny's stuff as well, and the boys. They are absolutely elite. But I'll tell you what, one of the best people out there, Aaron, absolute great human. And he says, RE trainer, Google search. He has also been seen managing player workloads, such as using Luke Trainer as a substitute to optimize performance. So very nice, Aaron. So that's what we just saw before, mate. You're backing that up. So holders, you should be fine. But that cash gen, it's going to stall just for a little while. Brody, Zorko's 70, Sinclair's 70, she's 86. What's happening? Yeah, look, it's tough. Look, Zorko, I think, wasn't helped by the way that Collingwood defended. Sinclair, I think he can forgive him just for a bit of a down game. And she's, well, yeah, the role I don't think is ideal at the moment. I was hoping, was it Fish that went down with a hamstring? I was thinking, she's just go down back, son. Go down back. So I haven't got high hopes of that. But look, I think with the sort of the Zorkos and the Sheezels, I don't see really a world where you trade those. I don't think, mate. We just hold for now. Reid Moraes clearing Humphrey on field. Yuck. Oh, that is not nice at all. Scorched. When I'm expecting double, it's usually from my captain. I think that was to maybe the double ender we were talking about there. Well, I was talking about more than anything. Useless. Okay, it's great to see you up and well, DR. Appreciate you, mate. Fab. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I've just gone back here.
JP talking about Fab, yep.
Oh, has Reid zero and trainer and field? Couldn't happen to a nicer bloke.
Yeah, Fab's good. I kind of burnt some bridges. Sent some real funny text messages from, I think it was when Cherry was like, "Oh, I'm fine, guys," and I thought it was real funny because he kind of like stirred him up, and he's a mate of him. He used to be a PT, trained Essendon and North Melbourne, a lot of them. So I shared a group text. So I was like, "Hey, this is really funny." Right, and turns out it went back all the way to, I think it was Combin, talking about Cherry and how he's fine, and he was shit stirring. So now like kind of killed it, right? Like Combin's great footy player, and yeah, so he's in one of the group chats, obviously. So he has Reid and Trainer on field, so it's a 0 and a 2. So he's cooked.
Feel sorry for you, brother. Cripps has to go for useless Supercoach, straight to Nakos, and look to upgrade Davison or Hall to a forward primo or even a Flynn. Not sure about the 3 ruck setup. Yeah, it's tough, mate, but we probably only need it for maybe 3-4 weeks if we can. Leake and Moraes to Flynn, Flex, and Carroll.
Yep.
Sweet.
Taking approval from me. Yep. Especially when it involves the cuz.
The old cuz.
Supercoach God approves.
That's it. Absolutely. Made what round par this week? 2,300.
No, 22 maybe.
22 to 22.
22, I reckon.
Early 22.
22.
I'm scoring around 23, and I'm winning every matchup this week. So that's probably a good sign.
Beautiful, mate. Will Ashcroft loves the marks at Andrew to a 15-meter kick, and I'm here for it. Yeah, very true that, mate. SBP the GOAT says, Lockie, silly if you trade him out. So a bit of a slap to those that did. So, yeah, SDS. Bang.
Never owned it.
He's clawing back. He's
Hewitt.
Wicker. Does Georgie boy keep it up?
Nah.
But surely not to this level.
Mate,
He does.
No, like what
He
changes
does.
for him not to? Is it?
It's a few things there. So as in they're not winning games. His matchup's really great. He's doing his role really well. I actually sent an email about this one, DR. And old school. I was a bit worried. And apparently Mitch McGovern said that he might slip him some blue stuff to make sure he keeps that up this week.
Oh, okay. The inside scoop. Inside scoop. Damon, what do you think, mate? Are you taking the bias out here and saying, no way, Georgie, or do you genuinely feel the love? You think you can do it?
Yeah, well, one of the questions came in ahead of this round in terms of, and it was from Rookie Supercoach, and asking about pod players, and went through the list and having a look. I think it was at 2% ownership or something. And I was like, Georgie Boy Hewitt has to be one. And taking bias out of it, just the way that he's playing, because we all know he's a really good defensive player. mean, when he was at Sydney, he was playing off half back, then tagging roles, came to Carlton, was kind of used as that tagger, and then has sort of honed his craft a bit more in being that attacking player. And I think this is the best I've seen him in terms of his forward forays. I was analysing the game against North, which I'm yet to put up the video on my Nuffy Carlton YouTube channel. But
yes, now,
just in terms of his...
After you say this, give that a plug as well, mate. But sorry, continue,
yes,
mate.
I will indeed. But it was, let me just find it. I can pull it up here. The amount of... It was like... Because the one good thing about Georgie is he loves a cuddle. Like his tackle work, really good. Pressure ratings through the roof. And that's always a good thing. Like it just helps build a really solid floor for super coaches. So he's got that going for him. And I think off the back of that, honing that attacking side of his game, going forward, kicking goals as well, which is probably more than what he has. I haven't compared it to previous seasons, but I imagine he's probably kicking more goals thus far compared to previous years. So it's kind of upping his ceiling as well. I wouldn't go for him, I don't think, at his inflated price point, just because I think there's other quality players out there with better historical averages that I can have more confidence in. But I can't see a reason why he can't continue it. Like we won the game and he was our best player by far. Cripps was a non-factor. I just wonder if teams are going to start tagging him. That'd be quite hilarious if that's the case. But no, really good, really good.
Does it remind you of 2022, Hewitt, where I think it was the first 9 games he went 110 plus? Like
that's when he was in defense, wasn't it? Like available.
Yeah. Well, he was a defender, but he was playing mid, and he averaged 111.4 for the season. He went the first 9 rounds of 110 plus. Got injured for the back end of the season, which I think hurt a lot of people when they burnt through trades. But he has done it before. It's been a couple of years past. Voss wasn't the coach at that point. But at what point does it kind of come through where he's the most accountable, dependable with the cuddles, with getting the clearance and actually just doing what he needs to do for the team, that they kind of just set everyone else around him? Like, Walsh, you can piss off outside. Chero, you can kind of put you on the bench for every third quarter of every game so far this year. And Hewitt just absolutely just dominating. Like it's almost like they're getting the most out of him. So I think it's endearing, but also I don't know if he can kind of maintain it for substantial periods of the season without getting broken.
I'm a happy draft owner.
Oh, draft?
Vice captain him too on Friday.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking, are we facing each other, I think?
No, I'm versing the great man.
Oh, me?
He's the great
man, DR.
Great draft pickup, though. Great draft pickup.
But do you know what, though? They've all got so you look at Butters, Bont, and Georgie buy, they all share that same buy as well, don't they? So you look at, the Horn Francises, who many people have as well. If you're running the TDK Sherry, you've got Caleb Daniel, who's another popular pick. I think we need to be careful around that buy. So, and that, again, comes to what Benny was saying before, particularly with someone like an Ashcroft. There's a word where you could hold him up until, say, that buy, and then maybe look to flip after that. So,
sounds crazy. I've considered trading Chera to Dacos and holding Ashcroft just based on the buy. Based on the buy, it's completely ludicrous. I've already copped the bad score, but it's ludicrous. But Chera's going 100, right? So he's not hurting you. He's just doing his thing. Whereas Will Ashcroft's like 115, 140, and then he pulls out the spud score. So I'm like, hey, I've already got the spud score. And he's got the last buy. I can't upgrade Chera at the buy because he's got the buy.
That's true. I just like that, almost that comfortability of having him in that spot and basically going, well, every week pretty much you're getting a 95 to 110. And you're okay with that because with all the other carnage we've had around us. But I can see what you mean, Benny. He's sort of just doing the job. And then you got someone like Nakos who's an absolute beast. So it's an interesting conversation, mate. Big H's here, hey, mate. G'day, legends. Happy Easter and to you too, mate. How are we getting Bont, Dacos and Butters with great difficulty, I think, mate. And as we've discussed, most likely after the buy, fingers crossed at a decent price. If they go into 600 for some reason, mate, then absolutely we'll have a crack.
Dacos is probably attainable this week, and then
for sure, yeah, absolutely.
Then after you just you just pray that he drops down in price. So if you want to grab Dacos, it has to be this week, and you disregard any other options.
I absolutely agree.
If you want to get him.
If you want to get him, because there's no word we wait this week, is there? It's like
No.
it's now, or you fade him for the near future.
It's now, or you're banking against him, which is dangerous territory.
I don't want to do it again after this week. It's no good. It's no good. Clash with Doc. We're not getting Bont, Dacos, and Butters. That's what he says. So,
well, what if I want to, Doc? What are you going to do?
You can't get all three. You don't know. Actually, DR, you've got 300k. You might be able to go a Chera, someone else, and someone else to those three. You might.
Tempting. It is absolutely
burn all your
tempting.
cash.
Almost like there's a sick side of me, a really sick side of me that was hoping Roberts would just crash out. So I've got an excuse just to go see you later. But no, I'm keeping on the man for now, and still watching. I think that was about an hour ago. Scorch, thanks, mate. Flynn must-have day. Yeah, talked about this, mate. We saying absolute must-have, but if he plays for 3 odd weeks, then yeah, we think he's going to be a fantastic option. And Dacos, yes, we all want to get him. And Short, we think's an easiest sort of hold at the moment, mate.
Oh,
but I am there. All right.
Yeah, it's me. That's my bad.
No, that
was a while ago. Oh, look. Sometimes it would just post out. Me. I was posting my pronouns.
Now.
Jeez, it's 12:50.
My pronouns
Legends. I'm assuming you guys have to leave soon as well. It's 12:50.
Yep.
I'll try to absolutely skim. You do not have to stay till the end. If you need to go, there is no offense taken. It's been an absolute privilege having each one of you on, but I'm going to start to turbo through these comments now. I'm going to start to turbo through them. You boys can love me.
My kids will wake up at 6 a.m. Although this morning 5:30 because of Easter, they're like, "Oh, let's just get up early." It's ruined my life.
Benny.
I tell you, Jono, I'm going to quickly ask you, mate. Did the Easter Bunny come for you, mate? Did you get maybe a Humpty Dumpty egg or something like that?
I don't know. I don't own the Humpty Dumpty, so he was already in the trash.
Already in the trash. He's getting no love, is he?
No
Janko,
cream eggs.
can you rely on Flynn injury problems? Can we rely on it? Hopefully not, mate. Plus one bad game and get drops. Yeah, JP mentioned it before. This is a risk with the pick. It doesn't come without risk. But if you can hold, I think we're looking all right, mate. Global, what's your handle again? I know you. JP's asking Global. Shuck the handle there if you haven't already, mate. Scorched Earth. Damo and DR were two of the ones I followed for BBL in 23-24, then found some other legends. Good on you, mate. Hopefully you followed Damon much more than you followed me with BBL because
I had a poor one. I had a poor one in the end. I crashed and burned, unfortunately.
So did I, mate. There was not so many chode up moments, as you often refer to this year, mate. But
no.
Fellas, you got any pets? Damo's white cat makes an appearance from time to time. Yes, it does. Was it the unboxing the other day? I think that I saw the card unboxing.
A nice little cat tree you've got going on.
What's the name, Damon?
This is Patrick.
Paddy. Love it. Love it.
Dangerfield, middle name. Patrick Danger.
Cripper.
Danger's my middle name.
Pets. I've got a heap of pets. I've got when I say mine's Lisa, I've got miniature pony, Tinkerbell. We've got the rabbits, couple of greyhounds, cat thrown in there as well. Had some hermit crabs.
You got a zoo there, dear.
Oh, it's like that, mate. It's like that. And what's the next
nickname
thing?
You Noah.
This isn't even a lie.
It's a good one, Jono.
Buddy Jono, we are getting a sugar glider. That's no joke. A sugar glider. It's got a little pouch and all that. I have no idea, mate. No idea. I've said no more living animals or no more living things, please. But I haven't got my way. So the sugar glider is going to be here in the next few weeks.
Sugar glider. You just found one of those, like a possum with wings, aren't they? It's just
mate, we have to keep the cat away from the greyhounds. I'm assuming the sugar glider is going to be able to keep away from everything. And then I've got River, the 2-year-old. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen there, mate. Not my responsibility. All right, we're going to go right down here. Loves the bantages, PW. Thank you very much, buddy. At least we aren't being bevoed this week, says Scorch. Supercoach Insider, at least we haven't been bevoed this season. Bustlinger would be good.
Would be.
Well, here's something for you. Busting 30 possessions in the VFL against Sandy.
Binga.
Ooh,
Good stats.
very nice.
And the thing I
Very
like
nice
about
talking.
Bustlinger, though, high kick to handball ratio, always, even in juniors. High kick ratio, unreal for Supercoach.
Unleash him.
Yeah. Bus Binga.
Yep.
Buspinger. There we go, Buspinger. And
Thank you,
Joe
Cousins coming.
All aboard.
beaten up by the cousins there, mate. Janath looked good at the teddy bear hospital.
No, I
That's
trust
cool.
Jono.
Janath always looks good. He does. Absolutely. JC, my rage trades can't wait until tomorrow eve, so he wants to rage trade already.
Can't blame him.
JP, can we all organise a Supercoach pub session
we got
ASAP,
it.
by the way, in like Flynn? Now, Benny, I think you're the only one not in Vic, mate.
Yeah,
So,
Queensland. Chris and I were looking. We were looking around round 11. Hawks are playing the Lions down at the MCG. There's a whole good round of footy
sweet.
down there as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
So,
I'm going to make sure I'm going with DR.
Oh,
yeah.
Probably
So
good luck,
like
Chubb.
we were looking at round 11. Wife, kids, the rest of it, mortgage, and the rest of it. It's kind of do I be selfish and go away? Whereas
Yes,
I'm
the
quite
answer is
anyone
yes.
that knows me, I'm quite cheap, right? So the grand final last year, I paid 2 years ago, I paid $185 for my grand final ticket. Unreal. Spent $1,000 on flights, stayed at my cousin's house for free in St. Kilda, right? This year, did the opposite, spent $1,000 on a ticket, drove to the MCG, stayed at my cousin's house. So, look, it's an option. We're looking at round 11, but it may wait a year. I don't know. But I am keen to get down there. There was a world where I was going to live in Victoria when everything kind of fell apart with my life. And I was like, I love Victoria. And the fact that even from Maffra and Sale and country Victoria, people were traveling 2 hours on a train to go watch the football. And I was like, this is living. You hop on a train and you just see people united, joyous, traveling for so long and far to go watch an AFL game. Whereas in Queensland, dude, you could be walking around Wollongabba and some people be like, who cares? And you see people and you're like, I'm right here. And yeah, cool. I'm just
different down here.
Yeah. So love Victoria.
Beautiful, mate. Well, JP, absolutely, we will do that, mate. Absolutely, long overdue, mate. Legends, how many trades have you got left? I actually only made the one trade this week, so I've got 28 in total with 2 boosts up the sleeve. Boys, anyone know what their trade count's looking like at the moment?
I've got 27 with 2 boosts.
27 and 2. Yep, beautiful.
I'm looking good then. I'm 28. I don't know. It says boost 2. Does that mean 2 if I've used it this week, or is that 2? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I've got 1. I think I've got 28 and 1 boost left, which I thought I was stretching trades, to be honest, but that makes me feel better.
Nice or pretty parish. Steve?
27 and 2 for me.
27-2. So we're pretty similar, Binga.
Yeah.
28 and 3.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, so you're looking probably
You went early.
obvious there, mate.
I think I went early.
All right.
I've got a
That gives
sneaky
me a
boy
bit
in
of
for
relief. I
tomorrow.
was mildly worried I was over trading a bit.
Me too.
Me too. I was too. I think we're all, we're all
Yeah,
there.
similar.
Matty Flynn over under 75% owned next week. I'll say under total, but I'll say top 5%. At least over. I'll go over 50% of the top 5%. Anyone got predictions for top 5%?
Yeah, about 55%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50% thereabouts, over under.
I reckon higher. Top 1%, I think, will be higher. Well, the top, maybe let's say 5 to 10,000 owners. So what's that? Probably 2,000. So probably top 10%. Oh no, top 2 to 3%. I think will be quite higher. So if you didn't get Marich, you didn't get Humphrey. Well, Humphrey was a bust, right? But Long, and after Long's done well, but sometimes you kind of get this FOMO where Long's gone well, Marich has done well, and if you didn't do those and you went with your SDKs and your Frasers and you're kind of like, oh, that was a bust, and you waited like, oh, it's a 50-50, I'll leave it. Marich goes well, Long goes well, and now they're going to make it happen. So I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
That's not a bad prediction, I don't think, mate, actually. There's
They're
a bit of a
just gonna make it
drive-by for
happen.
Kelly Underwood here. Worst performed Supercoach player of the week can be named after Kelly Underwood. That Turner is a special player, obviously referring to Xavier Lindsay, the butchering of Xavier Lindsay. And Causa, how does Josh Dacos get a
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
77.2 metre?
What a
I don't
joke.
know, Causa, how he
Cost
gets a
us the game.
77-metre penalty. I'm
Paper
agreeing,
bags
Benny.
filled with bulk cash.
That's right, mate.
Coming
That's
from a
right.
Carlton man, I
Lots
can
of
speak with
momentum
authority.
Yep, game killer. Fury is Flynn a must-have. Now, we've discussed him a fair bit, mate. We're not saying must-have, but looks like a pretty good trade-in, I think. JP, bumping Hewitt from Kennedy out, more time in the guts. Yeah, could be a pretty good point there. Maybe a bit more opportunity there. Matty Granger, Matty, oh, mate, I'm going to butcher it, mate, but I'll just go with Matty there, champ. Still a game to go, but planning on trading Foz and Humpty Dumpty. Do you think Rosie or Petrarca is the better option with Carroll? Makes no real difference to my structure. So Rosie or Petrarca?
Depends who's worse, your D6 or your F6.
It's a good point, Steve.
M or M's.
Oh, sorry, M. Yeah,
midfield,
M.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
M8.
mate, I traded out Rosie and he's gone good the last 2 weeks. If he gets defender status, unreal. I don't think he will. So
He'll move
I think
back.
but I think there's 15 other midfielders. Like when Rosie goes great, it's like, oh, that sucks. But when he goes 100, you go, oh, I could have got a 115 guy. And I think there's a lot of midfielders that can go 110, 115, and Rosie's probably not one of them. So I think Petrarca, if you're looking, probably.
You're probably buying Rosie as a long-term defender, aren't you, really? I think that'd be most people's plans, isn't it? So if you're trading in Rosie this week, you're hoping for that DPP, aren't you, really? And probably aiming for him to be a top 8 defender, I think. Track, look, if he's ever going to go well, you'd hope that it's after a Melbourne win and coming up against these two teams the next 2 weeks. But, yeah, far from must trade in, but it's definitely got to be on the
How boring's
radar.
he become? 85, 87, 99,
What? That is mate.
83, 91.
Yeah, it's not
94.
great.
No
Yeah.
ceiling scores.
What did Rosie go, though? 260s?
Yeah.
True. Been bloody up and down, almost everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
Scott
120
first
or nothing.
organised one with the IFS crew, New Zealand to victory. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. JP, very keen on the pub. Stay at mine, boys from Brisbane. So there you go. You said you were cheap, Benny.
No. So JP had me sorted, and I still owe him actually because he was in Bali during the grand final. I ended up staying at my cousin's coincidentally because I caught up with him and have some whiskeys, and he said, "Look, I'm house sitting, so you can just stay at mine at St Kilda," which is only 2 or 3 stops from the MCG at Richmond, right? So unreal. JP offered me his house, his car, and pretty much everything from it. So it was about a 30, 40-minute drive, and in the end, I didn't stay. But he was so hospitable. He literally goes, "Hey mate, here's my house, here's my car keys, have at it." And yeah, so he's unreal, dude. Literally.
What a man. What a man. And he also says
I still owe him.
thoughts. Layla has nice hair, he says. Thoughts on Layla. Oh, sorry, that was JP's thoughts on Layla, but he's not nice hair. So it goes to show you got to think outside the box here if you want to win the thing. Boys, any I don't know, any thoughts on Layla? It's like you don't trade him out or you don't trade him in, do you? It's just if you got him, you got him. If you don't, you don't type thing.
Yeah.
I'm a happy owner at the moment. So
Nice, Binga. Sarong is doing Maxi's head in. When's he going to start going to 115? Benny, you are a Sarong owner, aren't you, mate? What's happening here?
it's so frustrating.
Just keep getting tagged.
He looks like he's not fit enough. Which sounds
okay.
what sounds horrible because preseason I had Sarong in and I watched Brayshaw. Brayshaw looked fit as an absolute fiddle. He looked unreal. The eye test was super unreal, and I wanted to start him. And then I switched it to Sarong, but Sarong he looked a little chunkier, right? As a contested midfielder, he was resting forward more, so I had some concerns. He can turn it on. He can score you 50, 60 points in a quarter. It's unreal. But he's just chipping away at the moment. So if you're owning him, I say probably keep with him. I think he will get better as the season goes on. Whereas Brayshaw's now, he's just the heat has been a big factor in a couple of the Fremantle games. I think the Geelong game was huge. They had a heat factor with extra timeouts. You had in South Australia was an also big heat factor as well. So I think that also went to Brayshaw's effect as well, and a smaller ground, so it was better on the outside. So I think you just have to hold with Sarong, but he is doing my head in. You know, he's had one big score, and he starts off poorly, and I think the frustration from Max and I feel, because if you track your plays, you track them kind of quarterly, generally, and he starts off and he goes horrible, dude, but somehow he scrapes through together 100. He looks like, I'm like, hey, I'm just happy for an 80. He gets 100. He looks like he's on track for a 40, and then has a big last quarter and he gets 100. So I'm waiting for him to put it together.
Yeah. Anyone else an owner?
I'm an owner as well.
I
spoke about him in the preseason when we did the analysis of primos and the mids. And the one thing that appealed to me was the fact that even though he's getting tagged in those games, he still is able to punch out a ton, which he's been doing this season as well. And he's got really high floor, like regardless. And he has a massive ceiling, as we know. It's just, it's so frustrating seeing Brayshaw in really good form and opposition coaches still persist with putting the tagger on Sarong. It's going to flip at some stage, surely. But I'm just looking now historically at his form line on DFS Australia, and his lowest score dating back to the start of 2024 to now is 84.
Wow,
so
that is...
He'll take that every single day of the week. So he's consistent, that's for sure.
And Geelong, Sydney, and Richmond tagged him as well.
So there's some upside there to him. He's got the ceiling. You're right. So at least it's not dungeon type scores here. If you're looking at that floor, you can hack it. It's probably just if you're paying that much at the start, you want to see a bit more of a ceiling more than anything, don't you? But look, if you compare him to Lockie Neal, I suppose, with some of his floor tag games, and it's a little bit easier to stomach there. Boys, we're almost at the end of the comments here, so we're going to race through here. A couple of comments on Laylaw. Got no tats, though, or a criminal record, which is nice. Not a true Richmond player, he says. When Layla gets tats, he'll go to the Pies. Oh, so the Pies might get their hands on him. Fury, should I get Flynn in and save the cash or downgrade Davidson to rookie and get a primo mid or defender this week? Do we say that Dacos is a priority over Flynn, boys? So just
I would
stick Dacos in this week.
Yeah, he's bottomed out last week,
So probably saying Dacos if you haven't got him, mate, and maybe if not, then Flinny after that. Saints were an absolute rabble, or Jono, block your ears, mate. Need to relocate to Darwin. Jono, Binga. Wow, Bond's still haunting the shit heap for taking Billings ahead of I shouldn't have read that out. Sorry, Jono. Lucky Scoops isn't here. Scoops would have had a fair bit to say to BMC 33. Jono, quick response.
Well, he missed another player, so I'm actually glad he didn't mention the other player that we didn't take instead of this other player. So
Petrarca.
No, we won't mention Track's name.
Oh. How is McCartan going?
Goodbye.
All right, boys, we've got 6 left. Jay, should I try to get Rankin or Track? I'm much more confident with Rankin. But price rise, are we still going Rankin, paying up? Pay up for ranks.
And Fantasy Love Child too. Rankin was on like 60 at halftime, and I was actually tracking his scores, and I was ranting because he had disposal efficiency of like 30%, and he was scoring so well. And then he had 2 tackles and went up 14 Supercoach, and I was like, "What the f is going on?" Like I cannot believe it. And then scraped together an 80. So second half was poor. And I won't ramble on, but he was absolutely getting blessed. His dream team to Supercoach ratio should have been so much separated because he couldn't hit a target. And
shocking, wasn't it? Just couldn't hit the side of a barn. Jonas, max 115 would be this about Sarong. Sarong only gone 123 times in the last 20 games. Causa, I really want Dacos. Might use my second boost this week with 30 trades. Andrew says, do it. Causa, do it. All right. And last few here, we've got The Shelley Bean. Hey, Shelley. Humphrey Davidson trainer to Flynn, Dacos, and Stewart. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shelley.
Do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
100%.
bloody jealous of that.
Double upgrade.
Absolutely. Prime, aside from Cole, what other rookies should we be getting in? Yeah, we did talk about this. I think and not much else really, was it?
Slinger.
Yeah, the old bucket.
Maybe Sam Flanders in a few weeks.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Well, as a cash cow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scored a
Great
34,
team.
didn't he?
Thank you, Jay. What will Dacos price be for next week? I think Scobes put this up. Is it around 610, 612?
610.
610. 610, mate.
Yep.
All right. And then I think we just got some closing comments here. Thank you very much for the content, fellas. No worries, Jonas. Appreciate you, brother. 3:08 a.m. We'll let you get to bed now, mate.
JP.
Jeez.
Yaron hasn't slept since Briggs is 27. You and Supercoach got as well, mate.
Yeah.
You guys reckon Shaw can push top 6'8" defender?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Nah.
Maybe. But
10 to 15.
Available. I'm probably passing, I think, now. Andrew says, cheers. And last question. Oh, sorry. Got Vinny says, great stream. Go to bed. We are now, mate. And last one from JP. We're going to end on here.
Yep, here we are.
If you could swap noses with any animal, which one would it be and why? Fuck, this isn't one that
Koala.
I've thought about.
Koala's got that
koala.
like human-like nose, and I'll be sniffing the eucalypt all the way home.
Getting high on the eucalyptus.
Getting high.
I love it, mate. Yeah.
And they sleep all day. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
You're right.
Koala.
You're right. Boys, anyone else can jump in. I'm
I'll say a dog.
a dog.
A strong
What kind
sense of
Jono?
smell.
Are you talking pug or the old schnauzer?
Is that because
just
you sniff ass? I'm talking about eucalypts. You're talking about dog nose?
Just make sure you've gotten consent before you start doing that thing.
Yeah, I always do. Always.
Yeah. Jonas
Jonas
on
regular
dog sniff butts all day.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, look, I can't top that. So I'm gonna go. Look, people say mine's a bit pointy, a bit rat-like, so I'm gonna go a rat. I'll just stick with it. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, I don't know. Under pressure, I'm going a rat.
I'm going Damien Peverill.
Oh, the Pev, the old hook nose. That's
Damien
like a
Peverill,
beak
nice.
almost looking operation, isn't it? The old Pev. Like a bit of the broken
Is he
beak.
considered an animal?
Actually, yeah.
And to close the podcast, we're going to go with Under Pressure, sung by Dia.
Well, hang on. Damon, I need to hear your one first, mate. What are you going with? You going the trunk? You going the elephant's trunk or something?
Yeah, imagine. Actually, the trunk is quite, what's the word for it? It's nimble.
Are you overcompensating?
You can do a fair bit with it. You can match up the existing trunk, so at least you can walk around with two. But ambidextrous in that case. Then use both. But pick things up, do things with it.
You're a thoughtful man, mate. You're a thoughtful man. You're not just sniffing ass with.
Could be vacuum cleaner style.
Get all the dingleberries out.
The old dingleberries. Well, Rhino's going with the polar bear, and Causa's going with the aardvark. Nice one, Causa, the aardvark.
Oh yeah, Piggy Oliver.
Piggy snout. Boys, you are absolute legends. The time is 1:13. Cannot thank you enough. Been one of the fun streams that we've had in the last couple of years, I think. Absolute legends. A big surprise to see you all in here as well. So we're going to say goodbyes and thank yous here. So Damon, great man. What I forgot to do, and you need to do this now as you send us off, quickly give yourself a big plug, not only for the Supercoach Edge channel, but for your Baggers channel as well, mate. Absolutely taking off at the moment, brother.
Thanks, DR, and thanks for having me as well. And great to see you up and about, fit and firing as per usual.
You,
so always a good sight to see your beautiful face on stream. I mean, first off, Blue Baggers Edge is the Nuffy channel. So if you are of the Carlton persuasion, feel free to go check it out. Previews, reviews, analysis, all that sort of stuff on YouTube, of course. And then, yeah, Supercoach Edge. Know where to find us. Punch it in on socials, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks again, Dao.
Nah, thank you, mate. I always look forward to who's the man, who's the man. Gets me up and about, mate.
What an intro.
I am the
Content
captain
there,
now.
mate. Good on you, mate. Benny, fellow Lions man, mate. A pleasure to have you on, my friend. Thank you very much. What's your plans for the next week, mate?
Back to work. So this is so SC Insider 100 on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. So for me, I didn't actually record last week. So on holidays with the family and family time. So huge on family time.
Nice.
So I know the amount of love and affection I have for you. I saw you put up the thing, mate. So I thought, look, I'll pop on, and thought short time turned into a long time. So that's always how it is with when you stream on these sort of things. But yeah, look, I'll probably get out and do my sort of team by team. Usually that's the staple anyway. So go through team by team. What am I doing? This is my team. All of us, so Chris, Wiz, and myself from Supercoach Insider do our team by team analysis. We usually do a pod as well, just talking about relevant events as far as on the week to week. After this, I probably won't do the team by team. The weekly analysis. I think I'm tapped out for. I'll just refer everyone to your channel, mate, saying, look, if you want good gear, this is where you go this week.
Too kind, mate.
Yeah, usually everyone's teams are different. So I think that's why our week by weeks are quite successful, because some people look at my team because it kind of they like the way I kind of unpack it, or my team is similar to theirs, or they listen to other people. But I think based on what we've seen from Global, JP, Binga, and a whole bunch of people, I think a lot of people in the community are listening to similar folk, which is great because we all have a lot of affection for each other.
Exactly right, mate. Lots of people often think that this is a big competition between content creators. It's the absolute opposite. It's like a brotherhood. So we're all in this great chat that we've got. I don't know how many people are in it these days, but just bounce ideas off each other, absolutely give each other shit in a very fun way. You never go anything personal, but it's just great banter, great fun, bloody great community. So, Benny, thank you very much, mate, for coming on again, legend. Steve-O, we're definitely going to have to get there round 11 because I'm your good luck charm when it comes to Brisbane Hawthorn. Have not watched a Brisbane win when we've been at the footy together. I reckon it's been 3 or 4 times probably by now, mate. But thank you very much, as always, for joining us, mate. And give everything a bit of a shout out, mate. Tell us what you're up to for the week.
No, thanks, DR. Thank you for seeing the stream link. It's been a good time. Good to chat to you boys as well. Damon, Dazzler. Ben, first time we've talked about Supercoach with you, so appreciate it. And we always love Jono, so been great to chat with you boys. Stephen D.W. Smith on Twitter, and then SDS_Supercoach on TikTok, where I've been posting a lot of content there. So, been good fun, boys. One of my few Sunday evenings where I can catch up and talk to you on the stream. So that's good. Next time you'll probably see me as King's birthday eve. So, pleasure to be on. Thank you very much, gents.
No, thank you for coming on, brother. Always a pleasure, mate. And Binga, I often leave this to Spills with the podcast. Leave us with some words of wisdom. He normally goes with this one hand and bird in the bush, 2 hands quote. So what do you got for us, Binga? Send us off, mate, for our Sunday Talkback Live. What do you got for us, mate?
Not that I have this as my voicemail, but if you want to call, ring-a-ding-ding, it is the Bing. I'll give you a ring when I have a min. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
What a way to win. We got a bit of a freestyle there from Binga. I knew he was good cricket.
Slim Shady.
Bit of Slim Shady, bit of Aussie hip hop.
Yeah, this is my wisdom. You'll see it in the chat. Don't sell the farm to pay for the milk or butters.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
I'll tell you what. Don't sell the farm to pay for the milk or butters. There is no better way to end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to all the legends that jumped on. Be sure to check out all of their content. Ripping lads. And we'll see you soon in the next one. So thanks again, lads. Ramagoo's gone. Huh? Not a fan of the freestyle. Who knows? Jono.
He doesn't like the corniness, mate, JP.
He might not like
Righto.
the fan of the move that I did.
Oh, is that right? Jono, well, I'm
Sure likes the
expecting
tip.
a nice freestyle from you next stream, Jono. So come up with something good, mate. And we're going to get you on, mate. We're going to make you an absolute superstar. So much love, guys. All the best. See you soon. Cheers, guys.